Yeah. Y'all already know what it is, man. We in the building once again. This was an epic show by Nepal Shada. And does no means no. When a woman say no, do that mean, damn, I put men's. Damn, I gotta slow down. Y'all. I'm sorry. Let me correct the title. All right, there we go. My bad. Does that means no? So y'all can come on in and we can get it in. Now, let me see. Let's get this thing in. How many of y'all agree with the title? Does no means no? Huh? Does no means no when a woman say no? When a woman say no, do it really means no? Of course it do, sir. All right, that's Brother Keon. Keon is saying yes, of course it do. Does no means no? Where's the link? I'm going to drop the link in a minute. Most definitely correct. I'm going to go on a limb here and say no. No does not necessarily means no. Yes, people are saying yes. But real brothers know that no does not always means no. Huh? What are you talking about, sir? You gonna grape the woman? No, hell no. No. I've been married to Cynthia for at least 30-something years, right? I had other women in my life, and no don't always necessarily means no, because you can have a fight with your wife in the morning. You can have a fight with your queens in the morning. You can have a fight with your girls in the morning, right? And she's mad at you for the rest of the day. And she's like, no. But makeup sex is the best. And y'all know what I'm talking about. There's always been time for makeup sex, and you look at your wife and you charming her and you bring in some flowers and some chocolates. She already told you no all day. Don't ask me for nothing tonight. It's no. But then when you come in the house, you got a nice bottle of wine, you charm her, you put on some music, and then the no turns into yes. So that's my stance on that. No don't always mean no. So don't quote me and say, no, did you hear what sa.neter said? Sa.neter said this. I'm just telling you how it worked for me, because I've been faced with no a few times in my life, right? No, I'm not doing this because you just had a fight or you're mad or you're angry with your woman. And then that no later on turns into yes. Ooh, Y'all know what I'm talking about, brothers out there. So don't act like I'm wrong. Don't act like, how many times your wife have told you no, or your woman have told you no, and then you say, baby, I love you, baby. I want to see you, baby. I need you. I need my energy. And then she turns into, okay, but if you do that again, I'm not messing with you. Right or wrong? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop this crazy talk. So that's what I mean when I say no don't always means no. Because, brothers, sometimes you cry for it, you beg, you're in the house, it's your woman, it's your queen, and you begging, baby, what you talking about, baby? I just got off work. I've been working. I got a lot of stress built up in me. I need to get this shit out of me, man. I need to get this shit off my chest. And come on, baby. I'll do this again once. But if you do that again, next time, it's a no-go. Yeah, I know that. We all been through this as men. And if you saying you didn't, you's a lying ass. It's a lying ass. Huh? So let's get it in, man. Let me drop up a few, let me see what the people got to say about this. Let me see what the family got to say. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Don't come up in here and be no coward and be no punk and tell me, nah, that's wrong. You know, I don't agree with that. Okay, so I'm warming it up. I'm warming it up, y'all. Oh, man. All right, you know, that's the call from the wife. He's talking about, yo, don't talk about our business. Don't talk about our private. Come on, man. You know how this is. You know how this is, man. You know. Okay. We got Nepal Shada in the building. So Nepal, I already told my side before you get in, and I explained what I meant when I said it, because I know you like to change my words around and and all that. So I already broke down what I mean. All right. So while we wait for the people to come on through, Nepal's crew to come on in, we're gonna get some answers from the brothers. Seven Asar, what up, man?
Peace. What's going on, Sa?
What's going on in your world, brother? Does no always mean no to you and that's it? You leave it alone?
Yeah, no always means no. You have to wait for the woman to come back and say, "Oh, I didn't really mean no. I meant yeah." It's like that Destiny Child song, right? When she say no, 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 when she really mean yeah, 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 and they even remixed it with White Clef. So yeah, you have to take the position of the no means to stop. But if she comes back and said, "Well, why'd you stop? I really mean yeah," then you can either proceed or have that conversation of why you giving mixed signals, right?
Let me say
But
this real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. Yes, you are right. No means no. That's why you begin the process of, you know, building and talking to her and showing her, going out, getting that candy, getting, you know, her chocolates or getting some flowers or setting the mood right so that no can just change into yes. That's why no do mean no. But now, as a man, and you want your gold and you want your prize and you want to go to heaven tonight, you will do what you got to do to go to heaven to have her change her mind. And men have their wives changing their minds sometimes. So we need to stop playing this game. Like, I'm the only man out there that ever changed the mind of a woman. Come on, man. Is my gab that nice? That y'all suckers out there can't. Come on, man. Don't get mad at me. Let's go. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, I think what the real conversation is, and I'm not talking about the creeps or the people that essay women or the people that, you know, finally want to, you know, force themselves on women. I'm talking about the young men who don't know what mixing signals is, don't know how to, haven't been taught how to control their hormones or how to read the room with a woman.
Yeah, and
Right?
I'm not talking about women you just meeting outside. That's not what I'm dealing with. I'm talking about women that been in your life for years.
Exactly.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about women that you just meeting, because yes, no means no. These are women you just meeting out there in the bar, in the club, wherever. No means no. But I'm talking about women that you have a good relationship with and, you know, you've been with for years. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, brother.
And you usually could read that. If you've been with somebody that long, and
Yeah.
you really know when your woman means no and when she's just saying no, like stop, like she's not really, you know, tone, body language, all of that, you'll be able to read it much more better than someone you just met. I agree with you 100%.
There you
And
go.
I think that this topic gets weaponized and gets to turn into something different than what you're speaking on right now, right?
Okay. Right.
There's a conflation of an issue of men forcing themselves on women and men who know their women and know that she really don't mean no, right?
Right.
So I think there's men out there that really can tell when a woman says no, she really doesn't.
All right. Elder
Can you
Son.
hear me?
Yeah, you went out.
Okay.
You finished?
But no, what I was saying was, I think there's some men out there that really do know when their woman says no, they really mean yes, right? And I don't think any of those women complain about their men when they don't believe the no, because they know themselves that they really mean yes. And I'll
Yeah.
land it right there. I'll let somebody else talk.
Santan, what's up, man? What you think? Does no means no?
No, it depends on the circumstances, man. You can, your woman, and you can feel her out, right? If she let you get that kiss in, it's on. And a lot of times when they say no, you can even do a little wrestling, and she get to throwing it harder than you do. So it just depends. You know what I'm saying?
Now hold on. When you say wrestling, what do you mean?
Yeah, when you
And when you say throw it, brother, what you mean?
grab her, and you can just grab your woman gently and fall to the bed with her.
But hold on. This is when she's saying no? Are you saying you grab her?
Yeah.
Hold up, Santan. That's
right.
What I'm saying.
That's right.
No.
Because look, once you listen, man, you got to know the touch. Once you gently grab her and pull her down, if she don't want to go, then you be like, oh, okay. But if it goes down softly, then it's going down.
Okay.
That's all I'm talking about. Because, like I said, I let you know this, and the panel and the chat know years ago, man. I never in my life, and I'm just proud to say it, I never raised my hand. I had to hit none of my women. Never beat them up physically. Not saying trying to put a crown on my head. I just never did that, man.
But what he said, I'm putting cases on all y'all.
I'm just saying, man, so I know how to, what I'm saying? A lot of time wrestling turned into sex. So that's all I got to say. No means yes sometimes.
All right. Keon, what's up, man? What say you, man? What's happening?
What's good, brother? See, I'm glad that I gave you time, because honestly, this is why I was coming in. I'm glad I got time to let you, unpack what you meant. Because you know what? I agree.
Okay.
With you. If you've been in a long-term relationship with your girl, sometimes you get in arguments, and then y'all usually, get back together type stuff. I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, she still accepts.
Brother? You see, you young, but you ever heard of makeup sex, man?
I got a child. Yes, I've heard. Yes, I've heard of make.
That's the best.
I'm a father, brother. Yes, I've heard of makeup sex. What are you talking about? But yeah, at the end of the day,
you get caught out there cheating and something go down. Brothers get caught.
See, I tried. See, that's the thing.
Me. I'm saying brothers out there get caught cheating. And did something once. Oh, baby, I apologize. It was only one time. I really, I was drunk, and you blame it on alcohol. Blame it on alcohol.
Well, I try not to, you know what I mean. But I done heard of those stories too, Si. But at the end of the day, I just feel like your girl, even in that situation, she still agrees to it. Like, you know what I mean? I think just the context of where we trying to bring this around, like the no means no. I think that's where people kind of getting turned off by the situation. But I understand what you mean, though. I just wouldn't put it around the no means no context. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can I get in here?
Yes, go ahead, get in there.
Okay, thanks. Peace, everybody in the chat and on the panel. Okay, so this is why the mentality, the old school mentality that we're hearing, and it's not a slight, but this is the issue that is getting a lot of people in trouble. Even Nature Boy being in prison for life. Things have changed, thankfully, for people's rights, women especially, but also men, because we have homosexual relationships where there are certain vulnerable men who also are being, pressured or coerced. Even before we get into substance being an issue, like being Bill Cosby, we're not going to get into that. Okay, we're not going to get into Rohypnol and any kind of date grape drugs, just alone with the whole, she really wants it, keep trying, that will get you locked up with a severe charge, and you will be in prison. It's called coercion. And that's, people are like, oh, Niqqa hates men, and Niqqa, I'm helping the men who will listen. The days of you begging her panties off and doing what the Bible says, enticing her, those days are over. When someone says no, which I can get here, just to let you see, coercion, we can look at it legally. First, I want to go to this article in Medical News Today, and then we'll go to Cornell law and look at the actual laws on coercion, which coercion is considered a type of.
Excuse me for 1 minute, Niqqa. Can y'all turn on your cameras so I can see who you are? I need to see you before you come up. Go ahead.
Coercion is a form of SA. So in medical, just reading Medical Today, I just grabbed this article, but you can do your own research, as we always say. Sa.neter, can you share that? Because for some reason, is it up there? You see it?
Yep.
So Medical News Today, this is just a basic article from 2022. Sexual coercion, definition, example, and recovery. Sexual coercion is when a person pressures, tricks, threatens, or manipulates someone into sex. It is a type of sexual ASSAULT, SA. So it's a crime, because even if someone says yes, they are not given their consent freely. Why? Because if they say no initially, you got to stop. You have to leave it alone. If they say no, you can't do the old days of, oh, baby, please, come on. That is considered SA now. That is considered you not listening to her consent or her non-consent, and you disregard it by keep on begging and trying. So people who experience sexual coercion may feel they have no option but to have sex. The perpetrator may use guilt or the threat of negative consequence, or he might entice her. They didn't say that right here, to get what they want. Alternatively, they may promise rewards that may or may not be real. Oh, baby, I love you. You know you're going to be my girl. Oh, come on, girl, it's only you. You know I'll be with you forever. Gets it and kicks her to the curb. So now there are more laws protecting people, vulnerable women and vulnerable people, men as well, who are being coerced into having sex when initially they said, no, I don't want to. Sexual coercion is most likely to happen in existing relationships, y'all. But anyone can behave this way, particularly if there is an imbalance of power. Although it does not involve physical force, it is still damaging, and that is absolutely true. Keep reading to understand what sexual coercion is, the examples of the behavior, and when to seek help. So we're, it's a little bit older crowd here. So we're kind of laughing and saying, oh, you can, Suntan said you could take her to the bed and wrestle her down. And it's like, that is going to get you in big trouble these days. And it should. Sexual coercion is when someone pressures a person in a non-physical way. Oh, baby, I love you. Come on, girl. Oh, you want to, that's a crime. To have sex with them, a non-physical way to have sex with them. It can occur in any kind of relationship, and it applies to any type of sex. Sex can be coercive even if someone says yes. In sexual coercion, a person has sex because they feel they should or must. They feel bad for him. Remember, sa.neter was saying, oh, baby, why are you going to do me like that, please? That's a crime, and it's a violation. If she said no, she doesn't want it.
So let me ask you,
she said no, but she means yes. That will get you locked up.
So let me ask you, Niqqa.
Yeah.
Are you saying that if a couple been together for like 6 years, 10 years, 20 years. And when she say no, that is a crime for the man to like, baby, what do you mean? No, baby, I want you tonight. I need you tonight. Go out, get some flowers, sharing with her and win her over. And then that no turns into yes. And she loves him even harder than she ever did before. Can that get you in trouble too?
See what you just did? I'm
Yeah, I
not
know
trying
what
to
I
win
just
a
did.
fight. Look, what I'm trying to do is protect people and educate them. I'm not talking about scenarios that you
Well,
put in
that's what I
there
was
like
talking about. That's what I was talking about.
I didn't interrupt you, sa.neter. You want to say something else? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when you quoted me. That's exactly what I was saying, and everybody heard me, made it plain and clear. I was
Okay.
talking about women that I've been with for a while, or women that people been with their wives for a long time. You know, that's what I was talking about. And
I
then I
know,
said,
honey. I know you're talking about
I'm not talking about
relationships.
women that you just meeting outside in the club and nothing like that.
Well, let me say this now. We're doing education. We can definitely share. I don't want an echo chamber, but we do. I'm bringing my information the way I want to bring it. And the reality is coercion happens in relationships. I'm not saying it doesn't. What I'm talking about is crime and people getting locked up, and they should get locked up if the woman said no and she meant no. I'm not talking about husbands and wives 20 years, which that can be a conversation. Listen, across the board, let me be real. You want to talk about relationships and 30-year marriages? If she said no and you know she meant yes, then sit back and make her be the one coming after you. Don't play the game. If she said no, because you want to talk about marriages and stuff. If you know she meant yes, then you be the smarter one and be like, okay, you want to make me, I'm not begging. You gonna beg. Now, can we get the marriages out of the way and get back to people locking people up? Okay. If you meet a woman and you're dating her for a couple of weeks and it's time for you to try to get to, that second, third base, and you are in a scenario, because we're doing scenarios now, this isn't marriages. I'm talking about even you want to keep using relationships. Okay, let's say a person that you were with, you broke up with her. You still love each other. You two get back together. Because there's all the stuff about what if she really wants it. You know she loves you. You love her. You get back with her. She's sitting in at dinner. You're at her house or whatever. And then you start making out. And she says, no, I don't want to. I think we need to wait a little longer. If you keep trying, then you're in danger of being locked up and getting charged and putting on the sex offender list. If you want to roll the dice that way, go ahead and do it. But no means no. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Omar raised a good question, Nepal. He said, what if it's the other way around, where the man come home from a hard day's work, tired, gets in the shower, eat his food, and then it's the woman now who is pressuring him to do something. And he's like, nah, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And she's still jumping on, trying to get him up or try to get him around. Is that also grape?
of course.
Oh, okay. Because women do that.
Yeah, it's not us. Just it happens to be that more women are being coerced, but I said men get coerced as well. And
Okay.
you notice that it says a power position. So this is my take on sex. Don't come for me. But the male is the dominant in a sexual relationship. So if you have a heterosexual relationship, man is the dominant. And a lot of reasons are the way his anatomy is, his strength, physical strength. So the male is always in a heterosexual, well, usually. I don't know if some of y'all got wives that can probably body slam you, but usually, and shout out to those women, I'm not shaming them, but usually in a heterosexual dynamic, the male is the power position. But there could be a mental power position as well, where the woman could be in some relationships mentally more powerful. So yeah, if he gets coerced, it's a crime. She committed a crime against him.
Okay, Nepal, can I bring some other people in here? They
Of
want to
course,
get.
I just wanted to
Hey,
show
brother, say cool. If
the
that's
law.
you, show yourself.
He's no saint. That's our brother's no
Let me
saint.
see you. Let me see you. Say cool. Okay, I got you. All right, what you want to say? Say cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. You know, when you said no, does no means no. And I think Napa said most of the things I wanted to say. But what I just wanted to
Be
add to
careful.
that.
Be careful. Say cool. Your
No,
debate
I'm not.
will try to get you. Be careful, brother.
No. You see,
Who's trying
Sa.neter,
to get
I
him? I'm
am.
not trying to get him. You
I
mean the other guys
No,
lurking?
no. Yeah, the other guys, the debaters that's out there that want
Yeah.
that.
I am an addiction treatment worker. So I work with people going through trauma,
Mm,
coming to all of this. So I understand some of these stories. I run psychoeducational group where people recovering from drug addiction and other traumas
Mhm.
as well. So I get some of this information. The issue here is this: no, there's a different layers to it. You know, when you are having, let's say it's even your wife, like you talk about, sa.neter,
mhm.
and you do foreplay and everything, and you are in the middle. I hope no kid listening. And you are even to a point where you want to penetrate, and she said, "Hold on, no, you got to stop."
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's where some men say, "Oh no, my feeling is up. I think she just saying no. She doesn't really mean it. Let me push." That's where the crime is committed, because
Thank you.
this is two people with two different feelings coming together. You are trying to bond. When the other one is saying, wait or no, you need to stop. Because when you start saying, oh, she doesn't really mean that, she doesn't really think, I'm not talking about you, sir, but I'm
No,
talking about,
go
yeah,
ahead.
how men think. Because when we were growing up as boys in a typical patriarchal society, we were told once a woman, you invite her and she comes into your room, already she has consented. And once she's entered your room and sat down in your couch, you need to do everything possible. If you don't get her down, that means you are not a real man.
Yep.
So you need to do everything and get her. So that's where we start using all the strategies, promising heaven and earth, coercing them. I will give you this. I will give you that, trying to push them. And some people, honestly, they over pressure, they give into pressure. So you pressurize them in a way they gave up. It doesn't mean they really say yes, but it's because you pressurize them and they didn't know how to go beyond their limit. So sometimes we need to come back and analyze it. When even your wife says no, you need to pause. So
Thank
I think
you.
that's all I just wanted to add.
And I so
Okay.
appreciate you saying that, especially as a respected male in this community. I'd like to have a male come in and share that same perspective. So, sa.neter, you're hearing it from Sekou. You get what I'm saying, coming from a brother. You heard what the brother said about our old school. You understand? It's
Mhm.
different now because it seemed in the old days, it was seen as you're a failure. Your friends would make fun of you, like, oh, you couldn't, bro, you had her in there. You couldn't even, she liked you. The days are different now. So thank you, Sekou, for adding that.
Right. I stand on my square. I still agree with what I was saying. I don't think I said anything wrong. So hey, no saints. It's on you, brother. No saints.
Hey, peace to everybody on the panel. A long time for some of you, and
Hey, Joe.
glad I'm back on. Yeah, I'm gonna back up Nepal. I understand what Sa's saying as well. So I'm not saying what Sa was saying was, there's those exceptions, right? I there's those things where you have a relationship with a woman, and that's kind of different than what I think most people, well, a lot of people are talking about when they're talking about no meaning no. And I've taken many classes on this as well, and it can even be, you can even, I don't know how to put this. You can even already be in the act, and if a man or woman, because it does go both ways, says, okay, I want to stop, you have to stop. There is no, well, it's too late. It even goes that far. Like, or if a woman says yes, and you're getting all, you're making out or whatever, and then she'll change her mind, or sometimes a guy, you got to stop. That's just the way it is. No means no. And so I agree again with Napa. And I'll tell you who knows this, and I don't know if Napa knows anything about this, but in the kink community, this is very well understood. They have things called consent, and they discuss these things before they do anything. I'm talking about, any of the freaky deaky stuff. They have to actually have a conversation about it, because it is on the line. And if you do something, could be assault if it's something like BDSM or something like that.
Right.
So I totally get you, Sa. I know where you were going with it, but it is a lot more serious. I mean, people can change their mind in the middle of it, and that is it. You will go to jail if you continue.
And you know what?
That is
No,
correct.
good
Yep.
point. Because the BDSM community, as much as people condemn it, they are very hypersensitive about consent. They're very hypersensitive. That's why they have actual safe words, and that stops everything. That's like unplugging and shutting down everything. So that's a great point. Consent, now that mainstream, so to speak, is catching up with those communities, coercion is now on record as a crime. Where in these communities, it's been decades that they knew, hey, that safe word or no means no. So they don't even use no. They actually have like safe words like peanut butter or holy book, whatever they use. So I just wanted to I'm not a part of that community, but I do know a lot, I do a lot of research on it. So yes, thank you for adding that.
Hey, Nepal, you want to begin to play the video or what?
I think you have some. Do you have anybody else who wanted to say something before we start? We did a video the other night.
I do want to. Can I add? I wanted to add something.
Go ahead. And then Suntan.
This is 7 Asar.
Oh no, I said yes, 7. The piece to you. I said, and then Suntan can go after you. I said.
Okay, thank you, Queen. I want to add to what you were saying because the Me Too movement actually is what changed everything politically, legally, that you're referring to, Queen.
Yes,
and thank goodness to the Me Too movement because it protected and saved and, like you're doing, educated a lot of men on where the line was. It's like this example. I'm gonna give you an example, and a lot of people know this. I used to argue against men against this. When Mike Tyson went to jail for raping that woman, a lot of men tried to rationalize that he didn't do that because she came to his hotel in the middle of the night and said she was on her monthly flow. Right.
And she was naked, wearing a coat. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're trying to rationalize that she came to get it. Even if she did, the minute she said no, just like the brother said before, he was supposed to stop. Right. And you can't rationalize. I don't care what celebrity, just like Diddy is another example. These celebrities used to get away with it more than any other men. Right. Rich and powerful men, like you said, used to get away with it more. And the Me Too movement now has not only equalized it, but slaughtered that patriarchal view of how to deal with women. And it's something that needs to be, I appreciate you teaching young men that are listening and older men who didn't get it from what you're continuing to, the information you're providing, because it's needed.
I would say bad example.
It's needed.
Is a bad one that you use. You know damn well Robin Givens gave that up, man.
We're not talking about Robin Givens. We're talking about the.
No, I'm not talking about Robin Givens.
Beauty.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Robin Givens.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. And Mike Tyson took that from that woman, and there is no rational.
Hold on.
She testified.
You know that though, man.
She testified, and I was just about to say that. Go look at the court. Go look at the case, sa.neter. Go read the transcripts. You'll see that clearly. You'll see that the minute she said no, he didn't stop.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I didn't see that.
And there's a lot of women that have testified that Mike Tyson was aggressive with them, who he didn't get convicted.
He's very aggressive, though.
I said rich and powerful men.
My sister, he was out here, used to live here. We met him, and he was right in my sister's face. Like when I tried to edge him away, get between them, he kind of shoved me out the way, trying to keep on holding on to my sister's sa.neter, the one who's the younger one.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Cardi B. Yeah, so he's very aggressive and scary. I'm gonna say that for the record. I don't know how he is now, but back in the day, now he's older. He might have learned and mellowed out, but he was extremely aggressive when it came to women. Yeah. So. Okay.
Who you called on? Suntan next.
Suntan, and then the brother Omar. Yes, please.
What I got to say real quick is that when it comes to, you have to, I don't care if it's just a little bit of handling and flexing your muscles with a lady doing this sort of, entanglement, this sort of engagement, then that's a problem. That's all I got to say. If you got to flex your muscle
on your camera,
you got to flex your muscles with a lady, then you know what I'm saying? Even if she's not saying no, if she just, you feel a resistance and you feel like you got to flex and she giving resistance, then it's time for you to stop without even words being said.
All right, Ricardo, show yourself. Let me see who I'm dealing with before I bring you up here. Okay, all right.
Omar, did you have something to say?
Omar, it's on you, brother.
You're muted.
It's on you, brother.
Yeah, hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Omar. What up?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. I think
Am I good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
We can
Oh,
hear
my
you.
bad. Yeah, I got that little lag or whatever. Nah, hey, that's ironic. Nepal was saying that because I live in Phoenix too, but I'm from Chicago, but I live in Phoenix too. But it was just ironic that the sister was saying that because yeah, Mike Tyson did have that rep out here doing that type of things.
Mhm.
But just to kind of dive and segue into something more important, kind of like I said, I'm gonna jump off and just make my point. So no has two contexts. So it can be like no, yeah, baby, or no, Nigga. And that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully y'all can read between the context, whatever.
And
But,
you know what?
I
Before
just
you move
wanted to
on
be
from
brief.
Omar,
Thanks
that's
for letting me
why,
on.
Omar, that's why we need to get in relationships, or even when you first meet somebody and you start getting physical, say, listen, if I say this word butterfly, I ain't playing. Like,
right.
don't think I get the no. You don't think the no means no. But if I say butterfly or tiger, Tony the Tiger, it's serious. So maybe you could do that. But make sure that you know that when they say I don't consent or no or that safe word, you really have to drop it because it'll
Hello, can y'all hear me?
save your life.
I just wanted to respond to
Yeah, go ahead.
if it's cool.
Go ahead, brother.
So you made a good point, sis. But I mean, like, the woman knows her man, the man knows his woman. So he knows when it's time and he knows when it's not time. Like I was kind of saying before, what if the guy, you had a hard day at work, you're getting off, you tired, you exhausted, and your woman like I want to boom, 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 or whatever. So, and that goes for the guy too. So, it like a man should know his woman, she should know him, and he should know when yes means yes and when no means no. But I mean, it's no way, like, it is, well, I mean, if y'all relationship is truly solid, the man won't deny the wife and the wife won't deny the man. Now, like I said, given in certain context, if you tired, you like, okay, cool, boom, I'll finish.
He froze up.
What happened?
He froze up.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, hey, you know what? He made a good point, and that's the point that I was really trying to say. I didn't get it out. Mm-hmm. And like he said, when you really know your woman and you've been with her for 5 and 6 years, you really know your woman. When you've been with her for 10 and 20 and 30 years, you know your woman. You know when she says no and she really means it, that's when you just go ahead and step off. Let me go out.
Right.
I got to do. But when he says no in a certain way, you know what you got to do to change that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Let me go get some chocolates. Because I know she like flowers. Let me get her ass some flowers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me take her out to a restaurant. Because that's what she really wants. Sometimes, all right, she wants you to take her out. She wants you to do a little wine and dining. And then you get back in the house, and then that shit just turns into yes without even asking.
That turns into love.
But
about.
the problem is
Hold
this.
on, Paul. Hold on. That's the part that I'm talking about. When we say no, don't always mean no. Now I understand what Nepal's saying. She's 100% correct.
I know. I can
You know,
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
y'all.
But the situation is, we get what you're saying, but see, that is not going to help people not get locked up. Everybody gets what you're saying, of course. We know situations, we know relationships work in they're super complex. sa.neter, because modern feminism, you want to summer jam that? Let me read it. sa.neter, because of modern feminism, now you can be locked up for negotiating with your wife for 20 years. Actually, modern feminism that you're talking about can get you locked up, because if somebody says, I don't want to have sex, you're not supposed to think, oh, they really do. See,
Okay, now
no,
the reason
I'm talking.
I want to
No,
address
I
the
wasn't
comment too.
done. No,
I want to address the comment.
because let me tell you something about these men out here. You can play and laugh and giggle, but I'm so glad Nature Boy's in jail for the rest of his life, because he would be in the chat like you, Easy Bands, agreeing with sa.neter until it hits his life. See, we're not talking about people with 20-year relationships most of the time. We're talking about guys who are with women that they just met, and they're trying, and they go ahead and finally get it, and he thinks he had a great day. Next thing you know, the police are knocking on his door, and he's getting put in handcuffs. And he said, what? She said, okay. But then she says, no. I told him no, and I have a recording of me saying no, but he kept trying. He's going to prison. So you can sit up here and say, oh, modern feminism. Thank God for modern feminism. Thank God for the Me Too movement, because it's saving a lot of women and vulnerable men from being coerced into doing things they don't want to do. I told a story about a predator named Solar Mind. He's a monster. He told me the most disturbing story when I had talked to him in the past. He said he used to go work at a store, and he would stock glasses in that store, a drugstore. And he said there was a very nice, very classy, nice young lady that worked at the counter. Because we were having a conversation about but I said, everybody doesn't have a price. And he said, yes, they do. So he told me the story that he met her, and he asked her if she needed a ride home. And she needed a ride home, and it was in Philadelphia. And he said, when I got her in the car, I asked her, and he's a creep. I'm not lying on him. He whips it out with strangers, because we saw him on the train. He said he told her, hey, will you give me this and this? And she said, no, I'm a nice girl. No, he goes, well, I'll pay you this. He offered her maybe this amount. She said, no. He said he got up to like $800. And then she said, okay, I do need my rent. Every time I say the story, it makes me feel like crying, because it's coercion. And he said while she was doing the act, the oral, she was in tears. Now, we can talk about marriages and 20-year this. He needed to go to prison for that. That's coercion. You got it? Everybody get that? Okay. So you want to go to the extreme about my wife of 20 years, my wife of 10 years. We're talking about niggas that are out there preying on women like Solar Mind mostly. Let's start with them. If we're going to do scenarios, let's talk about Nature Boy, who was in a relationship with my sister, Janae, the hero. And then she wanted to leave, and she said, I'm leaving. He said, well, let me just do it one more time. And he wouldn't let her leave. And so he graped her. And everybody's still saying, well, his little knuckleheaded harem is going around saying she went up there and she consented. No, that was coercion. That was her only way to get the hell out of there. He graped her, and he's in prison for the rest of his life. So y'all can keep on sitting here laughing and act like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm trying to help your black ass Easy Bands. Okay, now I'll be quiet and let you guys get back to having your locker room boys club high-fiving instead of listening that no means no, should listen to Sekou, should listen to the brothers who know that you will get locked up. And then you'll be sitting in jail with a bunch of men, and then you'll be saying no. And then some hairy, big ass 7-foot Negro be telling you, oh, you really mean yes. Okay, thank you.
Cool. That's, I mean, 7 to solve. That's you. You know what you got to do, man. You got to let me see if that's you. All right, there you go.
Can I get in there?
Ricardo, what's up?
What's going on? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. So, you know, the way I look at it, I'm about like solving the root cause of it, you know, like the root core, you know, killing the giant before it turns into a Nephilim. And what I mean by this is that like the younger generation, if we could kind of like put them in a sense to where understanding how pornography and the excessive pornography and how the mind state is, it could potentially make people into a rapist. And it doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. It could be in the same category, because I could tell you many stories about how women nowadays, man, they're addicted to pornography, and you know they gotta get it, and then the way they would coerce men, it would have to be more psychological rather than physical, because obviously, you know, men, we're gonna be more physical and dominant when it comes to like, you know, getting the cookie or whatever. But you know, women, they're gonna have to be a little bit more psychological. And I'm saying this because it's going under the rug. And the energy, if you could understand how the energy is nowadays, how women are becoming more masculine, then you could actually have to put that in the same category when it comes to wanting sex. So, you know, that's basically my opinion of it. And if you want to solve the root cause of it, I would say, you know, we got to get these devices off these little kids' hands, because they're learning a whole lot. They're learning a whole lot, and they're learning it fast. So that's my personal opinion on it. If you want to prevent a future grape culture to be manifested.
I can add something, sir.
Yeah. You can
Go
see.
ahead.
I'm driving right now, so I'm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Good.
listen, again, I know people, not everybody. I've seen people say, oh, you always agree with Niqqa, but Niqqa brings it, man. Niqqa is like the encyclopedia of the house of HOK, I think. She knows a lot about a lot of stuff. And I see someone complaining about, I don't know, you said anti-woke men's laws. These laws aren't men or women. Women can get charged too. There are women that are in positions that of power, say in a business, that if they would exert that power on to one of their subordinates, they can go to jail just as well. Another thing, so it's not a anti-woke, anti-men law. And another thing I want to say is,
just to interject, I don't mean to interrupt, but think about how many people.
Nah, go ahead. Finish off, brother. Go ahead.
Oh no. Another thing is, she's like, I hear her saying that she's trying to save, like, I think the same person that was up here was saying, like, if you're with a woman for 20 years, you know if the no is a no or not. Well, you don't, and not in all cases. So maybe in your situation, it may be that way, but there may be a woman married for 10 or 15 years that maybe the man did something she didn't like say cheated or something. And then she may look exactly the same as she looks when you cheated on her. She may smile the same, she may walk the same, smell the same, but she might be she's on her way out. And then she may say no, and you think, oh, well, she means yes. Well, then she's got you. So she's trying to protect you in all situations. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. I need you brothers to cam up. Let me see if that's you. Make sure you're not a predator.
Cat is a woman, actually.
Hold on. Let me make sure that's you. You ain't got to keep it on. Just cam up. Let me see you. See, one dude got out of here. He probably was one of those dudes.
On Obama.
Okay, yeah, you can turn it off. You ain't got to keep it on if you don't want. Okay. Nepal, when you want to start playing the video? Because the video long.
You know what? Right after we have this this woman weigh in, she might either way.
And cut it off. Cut it off when you get to that part with the dude, Nepal.
What'd you say?
I said, skip that part with that dude, you know, that get up there and act a little crazy.
No, nobody's acting crazy on there.
Okay, so you want to play that part too with the
Yeah,
dude?
because this is an adult conversation. Just like
I
Sekou
need
said
you
earlier.
to go and put no under the age of thing on the
I'll do
video.
18 or over, but yeah, it was a very good conversation. So,
Okay.
to the lady that came in, Aket Kaba S. Ankh, peace. What would you like to say about this topic?
Okay, so one of the things I would like to say is that with every action, there's a reaction. Everything that you do, there's consequences. I think that one of the things that we do, and we've all made this mistake, is that we take our love and everything else for granted. Right? You take for granted that someone actually cares about you, and because you got all this stuff going on inside of you, right? And not reflecting, not doing any dark shadow work. And then you turn around because, yeah, when you with someone, everybody evolves. Just like with her, just like with him. But this is the thing that bothers me is a lot of times brothers don't want to take responsibility for how they contribute to it in the first place. And you know you have. Don't nobody just turn up and be crazy. Did you get any red flags? And if you got a red flag, why didn't you use the flag then? And then you want to complain after you've been with the person, all this and that, because you want to move somewhere else without sitting down with your mate, actually talking about what's going on. I was married 16 years. And let me tell you something. If my husband was still alive right now, I would still be married to him. And when you can have that longevity, because you guys play with relationships like you change underwear. And the reason why you do that is because you do that with your own lives. And then now all of a sudden, here go misery loving company. You pull somebody in there with you. She may be pretty. She may be this. She may spoil you or however, whatever, and use it to your advantage. So in a relationship, especially you lacking maturity, everybody's to blame. Nobody's out the clouds. Black power, I yield.
All right. Hey, Kaba, can I ask you a question, Sister Kaba? Sister Kaba, unmute yourself. Okay, let me ask you this question. You've been with your husband for 6 years. Sorry to hear that he moved on to the realm of the ancestors. Sorry to hear about that.
16
now,
years. 16
oh,
years.
that's what I said. 16 years. Now, let's see if we can be a little honest. Where you and your husband, because every relationships have their little disagreements and arguments. In your disagreement with your husband in your life of one time or two, have you ever told him no and then later on changed your mind and said yes to him? Out of the 16 years y'all been together.
All right, that's how I got pregnant. Right. So I'm gonna tell you, it was crazy because we were beefing. I was mad. We had an apartment together. I left. We was bus operators. We was bus operators in Metro in DC, right? So we had, we was making money. So we were living together. I got mad. I left on Valentine's Day. I didn't even tell him where I was going. And I went ahead and got me an apartment on Kennedy Street, right? So I'm over there. My homegirl's coming over there. Other operators, we talking the mess. If you don't know what operators, how we got our own little world, right? And late at night, because I'm mad at him. I said, I'll never be with you again. I don't even talk. Don't even look. He would come drive. Do you want me to? No. Let me tell you something. I had to make that phone call late at night. It was about 2:30 in the morning. And I'm going to tell you, I got pregnant that night. But
I proved my point, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen.
I proved my point, man.
But every situation is not the same now.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a sweet story. Rest in power to your husband. And thank you for adding that. After Ngolo, maybe we could go ahead and start the video. And then after the video, though, we do want to have people, add. So peace, Ngolo. What do you want to add?
What up?
What up?
All I would like to say is, at the end of the day, in this society, the responsibility is going to ultimately fall on a male. So as a male, you got to take responsibility for your actions. If somebody says no, especially in this climate, just back away. The problem is that this culture that we currently live in is so decadent and morally deficient that you can't take no chances. People are opportunists. If they feel that they can get an upper hand on you, then they'll effectually use that. If you're not in good standing with them, whether they are going through something emotionally or you have did something to them that they don't like for in the moment. So you just got to proceed with caution. I mean, you can get mad at the females for, I guess, being opportunists in some cases, but in some cases it's the males being predatory. So it goes both ways. But my thing is, bro, a lot of these females know that this system is weaponized against us as men, and they tend to take advantage of that. So as a man, you gotta know you gotta avoid a female just because a female look good, bro. Most times, I'm speaking for my generation. Most times, she don't got your best interest in mind. If things go sideways at any moment, at any given time. So all I gotta say is just proceed with caution, man.
That's beautiful. Y'all heard the brother, and he's a young man. So do what you think is best. And to the ones who are married for 20 years, bless you, bless your union. I think your wife and you have a lot of communication to where you don't have to really worry about somebody locking you up. You have your lives together. But in general, listen to what this young man just said. If you don't want to listen to me, be very careful out there. And with that said, sa.neter, he stepped away, but I do want to start the video and let y'all see well, he's back. Go ahead, sa.neter, take over.
Hey, Paul, can you start the video or no?
Oh, I was just saying I was going to start it. So I'm going to start the video.
I think my game is coming on in a minute, so you got to control. You got it, right?
No. I'm getting ready to do something.
What?
We're going to play the video. It's like a 2.5, 3 hour video anyway. But afterwards, we'll come back in. Set it up for me, honey.
That's the picture.
Okay.
Right. This is what we did the other night. And just listen in, y'all, and see what happens now. Now, we also talked to this one brother, Brody, who he calls it the sassy male apocalypse. He believes men should get what they want and they should get paid for sex. So, Brody, if you're out there, brother, we want you to come in and elaborate. Huh? Why you laughing?
Because I just heard you say he want men to get paid.
Yeah. He's the one who you're going to hear saying.
That's the new thing. I heard about that all the way in Detroit. It's going on in Detroit and Chicago, too.
Well, we got to stop acting like women don't crave sex like men do. And we got to stop playing games like that.
Women don't crave sex like men do.
Women want it just as bad as
that's a failing industry.
No, they don't.
And that's a failing industry. Men cannot sell sex. It's a failing industry. History has proven it.
Yeah. Okay, you must not watch Tubi. You must not watch Tubi.
No.
Women don't like sex.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think there are women that like sex as much as men, but the difference is they can get it a lot easier than guys. They can control it. So that's why what he's saying is a failing industry is because there's really not a big market for women to have to go out and pay for it.
First of all, we have lost that. Guess what? Because everybody took ship. So there's only so many men that are out here that are actually real men that are heterosexual. How is a black woman supposed to compete with a homosexual male with a black man? I can't compete with that. So don't even say how we lost. We lost on that point right there altogether. And that type of behavior was going on. And we allowed it to fester, right? We allowed it to fester in our communities and everything else. And I don't have anything against whoever somebody wants to love. But don't push it on the community. Don't push it on our children. Don't sit over there and tell them when you already know they was born a boy and put a dress on them. And they doing it in Hollywood and everywhere else. So we lost in that part too. They turn around and buck break again.
And we know statistically that women only have sex with a small percentage of men, because if you look at the polls, most women are saying most men they encounter are not attractive to them. So there's always going to be a small percentage of men that women are going to be attracted to, which is going to make that industry a very small industry, because those small
Negative.
men can't be with all those women. They can't do it. It doesn't work. It's a failing industry.
Go ahead,
It will
brother.
never.
You gonna get the video.
No, I just like to say for the average black man, that rainbow stuff is not prevalent. Like that stuff is overblown. In fact, we not really proponents of none of that stuff. It really be our women that be gung ho on this, I guess, democratic agenda that they say. But I think both demographics of parties be doing it. But
Disagree, come to San Francisco. I'll show you some things you've
yeah,
never
but I mean,
seen in your life before.
you got certain that's a certain area, but San Francisco demographically is not a representation of especially not no black population. They
Well, what was
black
Bill
population is
Clinton?
minuscule.
What was Bill Clinton? Not only Bill Clinton, but also Biden trying to do in not only here in the Americas, but also in the motherland and other countries too. Michael Jackson was up in that mix and what was going on in India. So they was popularizing all together when it came to the LBGT community, which is also a 501(c)(3), which is also another plantation, which is also they got to sell their souls, which is also they selling their agenda and how they had them lobbyists out there. So don't say that it's a small community. No, they infiltrated Georgia. They infiltrated San Francisco. They infiltrating other cities right now. They infiltrated New York. They infiltrated all this. So don't say that it's a small percentage. This stuff is happening worldwide, right here in the Americas, and it's also happening overseas. Why you think Jamaica told them, hey, you come over here with that stuff, you're going to get a bloodbath.
No, it's accurate that they.
Hold on. Yeah, all right. We got to move on. I got to play the video so I can
Well,
get.
before you play the video, I do want to let him have his last word, please, because I did want to say something and take it back and then play the video if that's okay.
Okay, I got to show y'all something tomorrow if I could get it in, where ICE is in Manhattan. They are in Harlem, and yo, it's crazy. I'm gonna start showing y'all some videos where they are not just going after the Mexicans now. ICE is really clocking Africans, y'all. Did y'all know that?
That's terrible.
They going after the Africans.
Yes. Yes.
This is crazy.
But they're not going into the nail shops. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're
all right.
melanated. Why do you think
ahead,
they got the alligators?
Yeah.
I'm not. I wasn't disagreeing with the. I'm not disagreeing with the agenda. I mean, that's anybody that would deny that is just denying blatant facts. I'm saying that the dynamic isn't as prevalent as our community as the media makes it seem. Especially for the average. The average black man is not nowhere near going and accepting none of that stuff. Like most of the rainbow stuff is being pushed and accepted by our women, bro. I gotta be honest.
I just want to say I want to come in here
again with the patriarch. Women, men. Do you all know it took a man and a woman to make you? So why do we have to be separate? Why can't we just love and have a clearer understanding, a better communication? Because there is no you without me. You didn't come out of a penis, you came out of a womb.
I know that's right.
Yeah, but you came out the penis first.
No, you didn't. I want to say,
and it's always been accepted in our community too. It's always been accepted.
I don't want to start yelling. I'm trying to just sit here and say something.
Don't forget about what happened back in the day with the sign when we didn't even utilize penetration.
Okay, now I want to take it back to what we were talking about, the topic of consent. And when we're talking about the bringing in the dynamic of homosexual males, and the way things are, it does matter with consent. A lot of men are going to men, like what the sister had said. She said she can't compete with a homosexual male. A lot of men are getting easy sex easier from trans women and homosexual men. So it goes back to when you say men and women are the same as far as sexual desire. No, that is definitely debatable. Men have a higher sex drive. I'm not saying anomalies. I'm not talking about a woman, like an individual group of freaky women. Men have a higher sex drive than women. A lot of that it can go back to biology, but we can talk about testosterone levels. We can talk about the way the anatomy is positioned. We can go into that, and we can also talk about the dominant psyche. But a lot of these men who are they say they're heterosexual, but they're starting to move into their options, because what Asar was saying about a lot of women, there's only a limited amount of men who are desired. A lot of these men are starting to dip their toe into the other side, in the other pond.
Take it to another level as well. It is not even about, guess what it's about? It's about economics as well. It's about money as well. You have people out here that is willing to sell their soul, sell their sexuality, bend over to get whatever, you know what I'm saying, for economic gain.
That's right. Absolutely. So we need to continue this conversation about that. If maybe we can after this video plays. sa.neter asked me to go ahead and start it now. So ladies and gentlemen, just sit back, relax. It's going to be a couple of hours. Just listen to the stream we did. If you want to weigh in, definitely hold your thoughts until the end, or you can comment in the chat.
It blocked my camera.
I don't know why they do that sometimes. That happened to me before. I went in and I reset my camera settings. So it's okay. It's fine. But just whenever it's not blocked, I need to start camming up, because she's not catfishing, y'all. This is actually how she really looks right here in this avatar. Right. So anyway, peace to you. I want you to be a part of this conversation. Brody was like talking some crazy birthday weekend gibberish, and then he just went off into the null void. So we lost him, family, before we went live.
That might not be a bad thing.
Well, we don't want an echo chamber, so I kind of wanted him in here. If Ivory, first off, Ivory Scales is the momager of the Info Warriors, aka Infomongers, and are just most of them are above average, meaning they are very attractive and they're successful, but they're in relationships where quite often their lives are ended due to their mate. Have you seen these things happening? If not, I got something
about
inside
them. I do know, like in my life, I've known quite a few successful women. They may not have lost their lives, but they lost their livelihood due to their mate by making wrong decisions.
Talk to us more about that.
I knew this one girl. She was a nurse, and she happened to be taking narcotics from the hospital for her boyfriend. So she ended up losing everything. She didn't end up with jail time, but she did lose her job. I don't think she could ever be a nurse again. So, yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes, women make decisions for these men out of love, and I don't know.
What about, somebody said your mic is low, and it is a kind of low. I tried to turn it up from my end. On your device that you actually have, can you maybe turn up your mic a bit?
Y'all killing me.
I'm sorry. Someone, Lion's Purse
If
said,
the mic that you're using with the wire, if it has a volume like thingy on it like this.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Sister Cookie. That's Lion Purr.
Okay, I can hear it. I can hear you getting louder. It's clicking louder. I hear that.
Okay. Yes, I think it is insecurities. Sexy Slim the Goddess. I think it is insecurities. I just want to, we don't do a lot of other people's content on this channel, but we can just show a little bit of a channel, which I think everyone should go subscribe to. It's called Twisted Crimes. This particular channel, which I was just showing everybody before we went live, this channel here highlights everything. It's not just about women losing their lives. This channel covers all tragedies, like with domestic violence and in family, you know, unaliving. And I want to stick with that saying unaliving thing, because I just want this not to be too controversial. So this channel here is called Twisted Crimes. I want to just go through it and show you some things. So Twisted Crimes, I love this channel. I love it. It's not biased. They post whatever is out there. Okay. So if it's in the news and if it's an unaliving, you can find, and it's from like a family situation or whatever, you can, domestic violence, you can find it on Twisted Crime. So if we look at it just off the top, you can see this is the latest one. Jealous mistress drives 3 hours to unalive her married boyfriend. So see, it's not like only, some people say, oh, these are only geared towards women. It covers everybody. Here's another one. 10 days after he got out of jail, he unalived his wife while the police were nearby. Here's one here. She was given, you know, rugs without the D. She was rugged on camera at her prom. It wasn't her prom. It was her the homecoming. And she was essayed by 2 men. 54-year-old father unalives his 32-year-old son 12 times. So again, see, it's not just about women, but you can see a lot of these are women being unalived. That's my point. There's a high number of women being unalived by their mates. Her lifeless body was dumped on her parents' porch shortly after she was unalived by something, her boyfriend rugged her. Chicago OG set up. See, again, I like to say it's not just about women, this channel. It's about a man being unalived. But let's keep going and see how many women situations we see. We just saw a bunch of women situations. Let's look at this. Daughter caught on camera unaliving her mother. Okay, so it's, I keep saying it's not biased, right? Racist neighbor unalives mother. Then here's one. She traveled from New York to Florida to unalive her boyfriend's side chick. This one says she told her friend she was being harassed, and then she was unalived by her boyfriend. Basically, I saw that story. So it was her boyfriend. Let's see. Insta baddie and fraudster shoots her children so she can handle biz. So I'm showing you all the different stories, and I want you to look at how many of them are actually women being unalived by their men, right? Sugar daddy unalives his side chick and her husband. Okay. So that's a man unaliving his woman, right? So we could keep going through these videos. Let me get down here. She unalived herself because she said she has a boyfriend. He met her and she was never seen again. He promised to pay her $500, but he decided to unalive her. Married woman, unalived side chick. She unalived her. She unalived her right after he proposed. Another one is a woman was lured and pew-pewed 5 times after her boyfriend's dad. No, by her boyfriend's dad. Woman unalived over man while trying to unalive the other lady. He laced her drink so he could be with her. This is the one I wanted to really highlight. He laced his drink so he could be with her. He left prison December 22 and unalived her January 1st. Husband unalives his new wife of 6 months. See how much more it's women being unalived by their mates and their. So Where is it? It says husband. Okay, couple goals ended up as a unalived couple. He tracked her down as promised and unalived her basically. So we could keep going and going and going. You can go on this channel yourself. As I said, it talks about everything. It's not biased. You saw that it's not biased. Yet a lot of these stories are talking about women being unalived by their lovers. Do you get what I'm saying? So, peace, Genesis.
Hello.
Can you?
I'm trying to get my sound right. Hold on.
Genesis is out partying right now, y'all.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Man, I love this subject you're doing. I was actually going to try to reach out to you too to talk about, did you see what they did to that young lady who was, she was in labor? Did you guys talk about that lady that was in labor at the Texas hospital and how they were ignoring her when she was screaming at the top of her lungs?
No. What?
It was at the Texas Regional Medical Center. She was in active labor, and it was a lady. It's all over the internet. It's actually in Mesquite where I live at, down the street from me. The lady's in active labor, and you know how many Black women die during childbirth.
Yeah.
And this is an example of what they do. If you look it up, I'm driving, but if I could get home before you guys could find it. But it's Texas Regional Medical Center in Mesquite, woman screaming in active labor. And she had the baby 12 minutes later after this traumatic thing. And the baby had pooed inside of her, the stomach. And it was green. The placenta had turned green from the baby. Because I guess when you have a traumatic thing, like you're screaming,
stress.
it makes the baby go to the bathroom. And and the baby was born with its eyes open, and I don't think that's just supposed to do that or something. Like the baby's not supposed to have its eyes open. And yeah, just from that, she was there for 30 minutes screaming at the top of her lungs. And then because the lady was asking her intake questions. Like, hey, how many babies have you had? You know, how many babies? When's your due date? You know, stupid stuff. And she's just like, what? She's screaming. If somebody can find it, I think that the people need to talk about this too, because that's another way that women die. And these men, we be having their babies, and people don't understand how serious it is having a baby from these men being pregnant, these women, and they have their babies, and they be dang near dying having their children. You know, and I think that's another subject we need to get into, because they just think that women giving birth is just a nothing burger. But we be down there on deathbeds, and we need more men to be there to champion for us in these hospitals.
Yeah, that's important. That men should. Even if it's not the father, we need a male presence at least there, showing the people more too. Like what you said, Genesis, showing the hospital, hey, she's not alone by herself. And it could be women as well, obviously, just support groups. But it is good when a male presence is there. I'm all for male presence and leadership. So it does make a difference. Unfortunately, that's how society is. They seem to perk up and listen a little bit more when there's a male authoritative figure. So I agree. And I have to look into that. So I know I said you're out partying, but I'm just kidding. Get home and I will wait for you to come back in and we can talk about that some more.
Yeah, I'm driving. I'm coming home from work, but I'll be home in about like maybe 10 more minutes.
We'll be
and
here.
when I'll find the video and come back up. But I wanted to let you know about that because I know you're a doula, and I know that that's a special thing. I think that that's something that you would really, this story would hit home.
But you're right, and I appreciate that because you're very right about the high level of mortality for women, Black women especially within hospitals for reasons of support, male or female. Women are often left out there, uneducated, unsupported. And then the thing about it's like meconium, when babies are stressed in the womb, they will have bowel movement. So that's unfortunate. I hope the baby's okay. I really hope she's okay. So We will talk about that. And Genesis, I also want you to chime in. I see Brody hit the panel. I want you to chime in about no, what you think about this no means no thing. Because I was shocked to hear how many men were like, no doesn't always mean no. What the hell?
Where was that at? Was that on a video?
That was over with sa.neter. And
you know what? I think my first video on YouTube, my first ever YouTube video was called How Many Women Help Perpetuate Rape Culture. I'll say for me personally, I knew more about consent at most times in my life than most people, including women around myself. And that although I always try to stay cognizant of consent, women turn into Diddy when they're ovulating, right? So sometimes it be like that. We all understand token resistance. People who are BDSM understand the concept of bratting. Bratting does not only exist within the confines of BDSM. That is, I think, most women's natural mode of interacting with the man who is attempting to have casual sex with them without a long-term relationship, is that they're going to be a little bratty until they rest into it. Well, I've been seeing women complaining, saying that dudes don't apply pressure no more, right? So which side are we taking? Dudes don't apply pressure no more. It's the sassy apocalypse. Dudes want you to chase them and call them a princess and gay and all the other type of stuff because you expect the mutuality of interest. I ain't going for none of that. That's crazy. You can't have it both ways.
Okay, well, let me chime in
Let
here.
me go get a libation.
Okay, go ahead, Tim. This is the thing, though. I'm glad you're here because we don't want an echo chamber. We are getting a little bit of background feedback. So I know you're having your birthday weekend, Brody, but if you could just mute out there you go. So, and then when you talk, you can unmute. The thing is, women are saying men don't approach them, not in the bedroom pressuring them for sex. They're talking on two different, that's two different things. That's apples and oranges. They're saying this freaking AI. I can't with this AI, Lord. Okay, that threw me off. Let me get back to what I was saying. Okay. Women are saying, and we have women here who can corroborate or say, no, I'm wrong. Women are saying men aren't approaching us anymore like they used to. But we're talking about in a situation, in a setting where women and men are alone. I'm just going to do that for now. I'm not going to talk about group stuff. When men or women are alone and a man is like trying to make it go to the move, we call it bases in my day. He's trying to go from first base to second base to third base to home run. And she's like, when he's trying to move on to second base, she's like, no, I just want to let you know I don't want to do this. I don't mind kissing. And this is where with women, we have to talk to them about putting themselves in precarious situations. But a woman be like, I don't mind kissing, but I just don't want to go anywhere past second base. We're talking about women being clearly saying, I draw the line here. Brody seems to be saying something that other men say, like, oh, I know she really does want it. That is what we're talking about when men get caught up in being accused of grape. We're going to use the word grape. So if she clearly says to a man who's responsible, I don't want to go any further than here kissing, he has to be the one to say, I'm not a mind reader. I'm not doing this bratting thing that he says they do. I'm not doing this whole, oh, she's just doing this because this is what women do at first. No should actually mean no. And if she wants to say yes some other time in a different scenario, then that should be okay. But at the moment when you're together and you're having your attraction and it's getting heated, if she says no, as a man, or even if it's a homosexual relationship, the other partner that's wanting it to go further should say, okay, you said no, I'm not doing anything else. What say ye I'm going to move to light, and then I'm going to go to Genesis. Do you agree with that? That men shouldn't be assuming that they can read women's minds if a woman says no at first, light, yes or no?
I think they shouldn't think that they should.
I will respond, but it's loud in here right now. I gotta grab my food, but I'm almost about to leave out of here.
All right. Go. Thank you, Brody. Go ahead. I'm sorry, light. You were saying?
I think men shouldn't read women's mind. I think men shouldn't put themselves in that position, as well as women shouldn't put themselves in that position, right? Because we've all been young before, and it's that moment where you want to do it, but you don't want to do it, so you have this like sultry no thing going on, and right then and there, men take that as a okay, especially younger boys, right? They'll take that as like she really wants it.
Right.
But then, then there's that moment of regret for the young woman, which isn't fair to the young man as well. So yeah, I think both genders need to not put themselves in that. It has to be a yes or a stern yes or a stern no.
Thank you. Now, when they hear that, and I'm gonna move over to my sister Genesis. I'm waiting for your device to connect, Ivory. It's not connected. But when they hear you say it has to be a stern yes or stern no, I think you and I are on the same page. Correct me if I'm wrong. A stern yes and a stern no is, oh, I don't want to do it right now. I don't feel like doing it. Is that stern or not?
No, it's no. I don't want to do it. Like you have to have that. You might have to have a little bass or aggression in your voice. You
got to shove him back a little bit,
right? Because you can't be like no and still kissing and still touching and still rubbing.
Let me try again, light. Let me try again.
I'm back now. Though. I'm out the loud spot, but I say I have a solution.
Brody, wait a minute, brother. She's still talking, my friend. Give her a minute, and then you can go. Okay, I do want you to respond. We want to get everybody in here because you set the stage. So now we're going to hear from Light. So Light says it has to be a clear no. DJ Genesis, we're going to hear Brody. You got to listen to these ladies, and we got Ivory back. But let's hear DJ Genesis. DJ Genesis, do you agree that if a man is if the woman and man or the people are together, and then she says no, should the man just take that as a serious no, or should he just say, oh, she really wants it? What do you think?
I think that if you are secure in your relationship, you guys should have like at least a language to know when you're seriously saying no and when you're just being playful. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can be on some fake no stuff. I'm not gonna lie and pretend like we don't do the fake no, the playing no, the oh no, I don't want to no, all that bullshit. We do that, you know what I'm saying? And then another thing is that we've even introduced things into our relationships now that didn't really necessarily exist back in the day, like choking and all kind of like S&M kind of things. So when you start getting into saying should we say no and all this other stuff and this, that, the other, and you already introduced all this other things to it, it's just a lot of just cross signals going on, where you're kind of going into some levels of BDSM and all that other stuff. So I think that if you actually have if you're going to be fooling around and choking and stuff, you should have safe words to know, hey, when I'm saying it like this, I really mean no. If you're going to be doing all that wild stuff, because a lot of these relationships be doing all this, be teetering on the line of some, some S&M type stuff. So, but if it's just a regular relationship and y'all just doing just green sex and stuff like that, there should be a clear no means no, But sometimes if you're like kind of teetering on that line, a lot of that might be just play. You know what I'm saying? No, all that BS and stuff going on. So.
I have a question, Sister Genesis. What if it's somebody that you're just being intimate with for the first time?
Oh yeah, no means no. Yeah, no. Yeah, ain't no playing with that. No.
So right there, Genesis.
No, that's it.
Genesis, good question, Light. You're talking about relationship with this. We will get into that, and that's true. But let me just make it clear. We're talking about first time ever. Like we just I never touched him before. He never touched me. So hold the thought on what you said about relationships. And yes, there should be safe words, but thank you for clarifying that, Light. And then Genesis, for the record, said, if it's fresh and brand new, you say no means no, right? When it
Yeah.
first,
No, no,
the
no is
first.
no. You don't know me to be doing all that. So hell no. No means no.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to go to Ivory. We have Sister Nasira Lawara. This is my sister from way back, though. I remember her. I remember
Salute,
you,
Sister
sweetie.
Nepal.
Yes, hi, honey. I'm glad you're here. So good to see you. I want you to weigh in. I'm going to see if Ivory can, if her mic is working, and I'm going to go right to you. Ivory,
Yes.
does no mean no when you first like it in
No
your
means no. Don't conjure anything up in your
Bro,
head
Brody, can
to
you mute Duke when you're not talking? Can you
justify
close
why you
the
feel that a
background
woman.
noise? Car driving.
Okay, yeah. He was a little, his mic wasn't mute. Go ahead. Say that again, Ivory.
Yeah, no means no. Like, don't try to conjure anything up in your mind to say, oh, she wanted, she's acting shy. None of that. If the woman say no, that's what it is.
Okay, well, short and sweet. And would you say that it's different in established relationship? Like once you're with somebody, you've been, is it different? We will get into that, but I
Well,
just want to ask you.
yes, that's why you have code words.
Got it. Okay, hold that thought. Perfect. I think we're all on the same page right now. All right, Sister Nasira, what do you, come on, give us your feedback. If you just off rip first time went to have a nice dinner, we end up in the home or the car or whatever, and the physical thing starts, the kissing, and then she says no. Should he keep going?
I recently had experienced this on Halloween night.
Talk to us.
I met a new guy like the day before. He wanted to kick it that night, and you know, I'm all dressed all sexy and stuff like that. So I did put myself in a situation where things could go down, right? So we're vibing or whatever. We're in the car, you know, he's filling me out, you know, you a little touch here, a little
mind
touch
if I put
there.
you on the big screen? I'm gonna put you on the big screen. Is that okay?
That's fine. So you
I
know,
want them to see how gorgeous you are. And by the way, what costume did you do? Not the French maid, did you?
Oh, I did like a Catwoman in a lingerie jumpsuit.
Okay, so you went out, and then what happened? You met him?
So you know, he wanted, you know, like he just whipped it out, and I was telling him because I could see he was erected in his sweatpants, and I was like, ooh, no,
right.
And he whipped it out anyways.
Oh wow.
And I was like, You know what I'm saying? He was like, do you like me? I'm like, I like you. He's like, is it too small? I'm like, it's all right. It's hard and everything, but
no means
you know
no.
what I'm saying? And he literally took his hand, put it behind my head, and tried to force me to put my mouth on it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Was like,
yeah. This is great story. Great story for this. So wait, no, great story for this. Why?
And that whipping it out thing is wild too. That's when did they start whipping it out like this? One minute you looking at them, the next minute you see a penis in your face.
Hold on,
I'm wrong with him mentally.
Let me explain why, and I'm gonna get to you, Genesis. And I just wanted you to finish. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Nasira? Because that is a great story for this conversation. What happened once he realized that you kept saying no? Did he just calm down, or what happened?
Right, when he put his head like that, and he was like trying to force me because he like pushed it, but I had enough strength to kind of move. You know, I know how to kickbox a little, so I did one of those.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He realized, you know, like this girl can fight probably. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
He stopped. I was like, yeah, it was about to go down with my stiletto. It was gonna be stiletto pumps in a minute. I was like, yeah, take me home.
Oh my God. This is thank you. First off, all of us as a community, male, female, we're putting our arms around you, loving you and supporting you for that trauma. Because even though you weren't assaulted, it didn't go through. That is a very traumatic situation. So I just want to let you know we are here for you. We love you, and I'm so glad that you protected yourself. And I'm sorry that happened to you. First, I want to get that out of the way. Secondly, the new thing, the new guys, or even and they could be older guys, they could be 50, they could be 25, but the new vibe is, oh, I know women they can't resist the length of and the girth of my male member. So they think all I got to do is show this, and she will just be butter in on a hot summer day, melt in my hands. So that's the new thing when Genesis is like this new thing. That's their new thing that they do, where before it used to be, in my day, guys talking more. Guys would try to talk to you. They listen to your problems. They let you, and like, you from my day too. I know you know. And Genesis, I don't know if Ivory might be a little bit younger, but I was trying to pause it because I see the brothers coming in. Maybe they want to say something. I could let you, if you want to comment on what just y'all are coming in. Did you want to say something about that? You seem like you I don't know. What do you think about that story that the sister told about her experience on Halloween? We'll start with N'Golo.
Yeah.
Let me start with N'Golo, and then I'll go to you, Seven, and let you comment. Go ahead.
I mean, to me, that's sick. But again, it all stems back to like this society objectifies and sexualizes women as objects. So especially being on my age, like the females aren't viewed in the essence of women anymore. Like they're literally just people just trying to get their rocks off. Even if you look at the caliber of women that I would say men of my age range go for to even pursuing relationships, they're not wholesome females. They females that are really like trampish. And I mean, when it's that type of culture, you can't like the men they're not gonna respect anything the female is saying. To me, bro, it's like we gotta get out of this European culture, in my opinion. Like it's eroded every aspect of our day-to-day lives, our society. Like the family structure is horrendous. The relationship structure just at a friend basis is horrendous. Every dynamic that we currently have right now we're not in a good state overall. And I would say any man that's out here doing that, bro, like to me, like in my culture, you get tires and petrol for doing stuff like that. It's not no excuse for that type of behavior. It's not none of no innuendos, bro. Like that's crazy, bro. To even think of forcing a female's head, like, bro, that's really some like that's some like I don't know, bro. That people got to stop watching them nasty videos and all that other stuff, bro. That stuff is not real life, bro. Get off the internet, bro. Have respect for yourself and have respect for other people, bro. That's just uncalled for. There's no excuse for that type of stuff.
Yeah, I
But I'll
appreciate
yield
it.
the mic.
Thank you so much. That was great, especially the whole people think. I say this all the time in Golo when I'm talking even to my children. I'll be like, people really think things that happen on movies. I know you were kind of talking about porno. Oops, I'm not supposed to say, I should say corn. Sorry. But I know you're talking about corn, but even when people are like, when they punch an old person in the face and you see this stuff happen and then they're shocked that the old person might be unalived, they're used to movies where people are getting punched in the face, bottles cracked over their head, and they just get up and walk away. So I do think that people are really they're not in reality anymore. And going back to what you said about the self-respect, definitely. But this did happen to the sister. I do see some people in the chat who are trying to kind of, I timed out a couple of people and deleted some comments. Don't start blaming her. All right. Because that's another issue that we need to deal with. She didn't do anything wrong by wearing a sexy Halloween costume. Go ahead, Seven Asar. What did you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that story that sister said. It's something common that a lot of young women and some older women encounter, because a lot of these men, especially the young men, they don't know how to deal with situations like that. The people that are teaching them about sex, about women, how to approach women is usually their older homeboy or a father that doesn't who does those things. A father who doesn't really understand women himself, or because there's an absent father, they'll go to social media or some other resource to understand how to deal with those situations. Because what my brother Angolo said, I believe is true to a certain percentage. I don't think it's a large percentage. I think the largest percentage of why men are like that, and maybe some young girls are put themselves in situations they shouldn't be, is because the family structure has been broken and purposely broken, right? They purposely broke that family structure, and because there then can become chaos and miseducation and all of these negative interactions that are happening to women in these situations. And it happened back in the days when we had more traditional families, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is. It was a very small percentage of that happening because you had fathers who were protecting their daughters. You had husbands that were protecting their wives. And that was the mainstay of how women were protected from situations like that, right? And how men didn't put themselves in situations like that. Now, that doesn't go to say that those men in those traditional situations didn't do that, but I would say statistically it's less common for it to happen, because what that young man did actually, he violated her to where I'm from, he would have got checked physically. We would have checked him for doing that. And she didn't even have to be our immediate family member. She could have just been one of our sisters from our communities, from our hood. That's where I grew up. That's how we protected our women in our communities, in my family, right? So I think it's about us getting back to a family structure where the young men can be educated on how to deal with women in that situation, and young ladies aren't put in a situation with a young man that they don't know and how he may react with her being alone with him. And I think that's really the main issues that are making this thing into a mountain of issues in our community.
Thank you so much, Asar7. Thank you so much, Ngolo. I appreciate you brothers being on standby. I know this is a pretty long video. Please hit the like, but it is important that you listen. I want you to stay tuned too. You're going to hear this brother Brody come in, and he's going to talk about how this is the brother who he said men should get paid for sex, for favors. And he also said when he meets women, he requires them to give him oral before they even go on a date. So let's play the rest of this. So thank you to you brothers for tuning in. I know, Ngolo. Okay, just listen up. Let's hear him come on. But yeah, it's wild. Let me go ahead and mute out and start the video. If you're in your 40s and 50s, guys did a lot of, let me hear what you have to say, girl. Oh, baby, I'm sorry he did that. Now the new thing is like, look what I got, and
just slap it
a
out.
lot of women,
just slap it on out, just whip it on out.
Yeah, and that's very scary for a lot of us,
Yeah.
That's scary for a lot of women, but the social media has painted women as, we love it, like, yeah, I can't resist a virile, strong member. So that's where that is scary and dangerous.
I think that comes from these new dating apps, because they got these dating apps where you just swipe left and right, and they have actual dating apps where the whole thing is to go out and have sex. It's called not Grinder. What is this? I don't even know what it's called. Tinder. They actually, that dating app is specifically to go have sex. So I'm sure that when they are talking on that app, they probably are just showing screenshots of each other's private parts, and and so they get used to that with this new generation and just be getting right to it. They don't even want to go on dates no more. They just want to just like, hey, when can I see you? Where can I meet you at? And when we gonna do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's real like microwave, sex, going on.
It's really, and that's true. And that's a new culture. I do want to say too, but going back to the no, thank you, Genesis. The no meaning no in that situation. I don't know. I want to get back to Nasira. And this doesn't matter. You know what it is when you're having fun, having some drinks. She's looking all sexy and she's gorgeous and she's bright and she's brilliant and she's got this feminine, divine energy. I know she does because I've seen her and I see her now and I talk to her. So sometimes men see that as, oh, she's ready. What do you think? What would you say that he misread you? I want to hear from you more.
I can't really say for him about the misreading, because remember when you said like when they think like no doesn't always mean no. I know she wants it.
Definitely. Yep.
I
Brody
agree.
said that.
I did want it, but I didn't want it right now. I didn't want it
Right.
right there. I didn't want it like that. You know what
Got
I'm
it.
saying? Like, this
Yep.
car is too small. I'm uncomfortable. You're not passing the vibe check at all. Even if you
Bingo.
did pass the vibe check, even if you did have a bigger car or I was comfortable, it's just like, no means no. I already said
Yeah.
no. He's already whipping it out after I told him no. He did it anyway. So that's already automatically turned off. You're not listening to me. I said no. So
Yes.
why are you whipping it out after I said no? I was
Right.
trying to save him the embarrassment, but it's like, no means no, period. If I say no, if I've known you forever, yes, I want it, but not right now. I don't want it right here, right now. No is no. Once I say no, that's it. If we in the bed and I know you for 10 years, once I say no, it's no. Because when a dude say no, girl, he ready to knock you out. When
Yep.
they say no, it ain't. That's it. They ready to
Bingo.
push you off. It's kind of funny.
Okay, so I want to bring you in again and hear some feedback on this, because that's another thing that I let me see if I can get you guys up here like this. There we go. So I want to hear from you. I'll start with the SAR this time, then I'm going to go to Ngolo. Do you hear what she's saying actually? And she's been in the community for some time. This is somebody who is a single woman. She's attractive, but she's saying no means no. And I'm going to you two brothers. I want to start with the SAR, because she also made a good point. That doesn't mean she doesn't want it. You see what I'm saying? But she didn't want to do it at that moment. What do you say? What's your feedback on what you're hearing her say, Asar?
She's talking and saying what most women think, or don't vocalize in that situation when they're in that situation with a man. And she's on point, because when a man doesn't want it, like you said earlier, there are women who try to press themselves on men, try to force themselves on men, but they're much more physically stronger to oppose that advance, right? They can push you off, they can throw you away, they can actually physically get out the way. But most women don't have that luxury, right? They are at the mercy of that man's strength. And they can become victimized much more easier than a man. And she's showing that. And men, and like I said, men who do understand that, they don't. They don't press themselves on women. They understand that they're much stronger than a woman. They give that respect and indifference to a woman, because they know that they can do whatever they want to. But why do that, right? The moral high ground is where a man should always be when it comes to a woman in that aspect. And I think she vocalized it and outlined it perfectly.
Thank you. What do you say about this, Ngolo?
I mean, this is like at the end of the day, as a man, like her wish goes, whatever she says goes, because and it's vice versa. Like as a human, you respect other people's regards and their wishes. The goal is to reduce human suffering in any aspect. So at the end of the day, if somebody's telling you that they don't want to do something, and whether regardless if it's sexual, if it's just if it's, you trying to go somewhere, somebody ain't trying to go, respect what they doing. Don't try to force your mindset or what you want to do on somebody else. At the end of the day, it's about respect. But like if you respect yourself, then you respect other people. That's all it boils down to. I think a lot of this, like we put ourselves in a lot of these situations where doesn't gotta be like, and it just be a headache, and that's gonna cause ripple effects, because you do something to a female, she got brothers, her brothers is not finna go for none of the stuff that you doing, so now that brother's putting his freedom at risk. Because I'm telling you, if somebody disrespect my sister and they all count, I'm willing to go to the furthest extent to anything or any female, not even my sister, any female in my family, any female in my circumference. You disrespect them in any type of way, and they not in the wrong, bro. I'm willing to risk my freedom for that. Like It's not no plan in regards to that. So at the end of the day, man, as a man, just respect yourself and respect their wishes, bro. It's not that serious, bro. You finna get a little tickle for 3 minutes. It's not worth doing no time in jail over. It's not worth disrespecting her, taking her honor, bro. Me personally, I can't understand the mindset of somebody that would disrespect somebody to that nature. I just can't fathom it, but that's all I gotta say.
Thank you very much. Thank you, both of you. And let's continue to listen to a little bit more of this. I appreciate your input. Okay.
It's a double standard, but when a nigga, forgive me, when he doing it, when he say no, don't touch me, I don't. He knocking this out. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. Wow. That is great. I love it. I love this input. I love this conversation. I want to go to Timotheus because he's been very patient. Thank you so much for adding this personal story, sister. I love you. I love you anyway. And just hearing this, you're absolutely 100% when you said you wanted it. Like, we're not prudes. We're not robots, but guess what? We do have standards. Just like everyone, male and female, we have standards. And I am attracted to you. And Timotheus, I'm going to go to you because I want to segue into remember the brother with the putting the you know what in her drink, the Cosby's. When he peeled Cosby to his girlfriend, he already had her, right? I want to talk to you. Does no mean no? And what do you think about that when what the sister said and how we say, just because we want it, we might not want it right then, like the guy who had the girlfriend but still put the pills in her drink. What do you think about this? Just weigh in, please, and especially as a male representation. We don't have Brody up here wilding out right now. Go ahead. Real quick, there was a story that I showed earlier before we went live. There was a story about a guy who actually was dating a girl, beautiful girl, and he decided for some dumb reason to put Rohypnol in her drink, and it caused her to have cardiac arrest. So this is just wild when she already liked him. So that's what I'm talking about with him. So let me go ahead and let you listen.
I had missed what Brody said earlier because when Brody started, I'm very, very familiar with Brody, and that's why I had to go get my libation. So because I thought we was going to deal with Brody,
no,
so
I had to. Back. He's coming back, right? I agree.
I had to get my libation to talk to Brody. But as far as the no means, as far as what happened with the sister, I'm sorry that happened to you. I don't know what happened. I come from, I'm 45, I'll be 46 next month. I come from a generation where even though there was toxic encouragement, so to speak, it still was done to where lines and boundaries were drawn. So yeah, I'm sorry that it happened to you. And speaking of my generation, when it comes to no means no, there for my generation as boys, we were taught no means no. They had billboards back in the 80s and the 90s you drive down the street, no means no. No means no. So for us as and I'm speaking loosely, I'm not speaking for all men, I'm just saying, for us as guys, a lot of men took that as if she says yes, then that means yes. So if like what the sister was saying earlier, when the girls be like, hey, no, I don't want to do it. Well, come on, girl, come on, girl, yeah. And if they got to saying yeah,
wait. You can tell that Timotheus has been doing that before. That sounded too authentic. Come on, girl. But go ahead, finish.
But that whole come on, girl, like all of that for us. If she said yes, then that was the opposite of that means she said yes, because what had been drilled in our heads as young men that no meant no. And if you could game her up, spit your little game, throw your rap out, and then she said yes, mission accomplished. But now that's called coercion. That's all new. That's for me and my generation, coercion is new. Because it's like that was just so how is having game a crime? Like, come on, like this is crazy, So my generation conceptualizes it in that way. Like, how is having game breaking is a crime? Like,
I know what.
That's what I'm
It
supposed to
was
do. I'm
supposed to
supposed to
stop
be
raining.
smooth. I'm supposed to have some
thought it was going to
swag and
stop
some, hey,
raining, but
baby, I've been
no.
looking for you. I've been looking for you all day with a flashlight
People
in the
was tracking
daytime,
all
baby.
kind of
I'm
mud
happy
in
I
my car.
found
It
you.
was tough.
That was just how it was. The game was really cool. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just explaining
And
it to
coercion will get a man put behind bars today.
right, but that's just the thing. For I don't know about these young dudes. I'm just saying from the generation I come from, it was no meant no. Period. We understood that no meant no. She said no. It was no. Anything outside of that was a problem. But if you could get her to say yes, then it wasn't no.
And thank you, thank you so much, Timotheus. I'm going to get to you, Brody. I just want to go to this topic, this comment, and say, African royalty, thank you for your comment. Y'all, don't forget to hit the like. We have our sister Light back in the house. Thank goodness. Now let's see what this says. Men don't ask to do anything. I mean, we go by action and chemistry of the women. Well, that is very, very true. But when she is like what we heard our sister Nasira say, it's not that you don't want it, but if you have standards, just because I want it, the difference, I and y'all can come for me if you want. This isn't all men, but in general, we have different ways that we move. Women, we have more of a control over ourselves, so to speak, when it comes to sexuality. For the most part, don't come to me about, oh, this woman doesn't, this, I get it. But for the most part, we'll be like, you know what? I really am attracted. I really love it. I would love to. I want to, but no, not right now. No, no, no. So just remember that, right? Even though that chemistry will get you locked up. That chemistry have to help you catch a whole case. But you're right, African royalty, the chemistry. But when we're talking about women saying, even though my body is saying yes, my mind, my logical mind is saying, no, not in this car, but take my number. And the funny thing is, when you, back to what I told Timothy is, you know you got her, just go ahead and wait till the next time. Because for me, I want to ask the men that, Wall Street, I don't know who you are. Keon, you got to turn on your camera so I can see who you are. If you want to turn it off when you come, yeah, I got to make sure it's you, Keon. Why are you in the dark? I can't see you. Go ahead. Let me put the brothers up here. Keon, put your face close to the there you go. Okay. Let me add you to the stage. Come on. And what do you think about that when I say Ngolo? I'm gonna start with you and then I'll go to Keon. And I like that you guys you seem younger. So I don't know your age, but I know Keon is a younger man. I think he's in his 20s. So when you hear what I'm saying, like, and what we say about the woman, when the chemistry is there, and we know we set this, we set the standard. We know we're saying no means no. But in that situation, when she's like, you know she wants it, but she's saying no, it's still no, right? Or what? Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit more, Ngolo, and then I'll ask Keon?
I mean, I've never been a type. I'm not finna press no issue like that. To me, I think the relationship dynamics put this in it gets sketchy to where like I don't, me personally, I'm not without a like frivolous intimacy. Like I still value, like, if you're not in a real like relationship, if you ain't paid that woman's bride price, that to me, that's not even, I'm not without a secular Western US stuff to where we out here having frivolous relations. So I really can't even relate to that situation for real. If it even got down to it, I'm not finna, if I ain't paid the bride price, I'm not trying to be having no intercourse with you. But if from a hypothetical thought experiment, I mean, I can't see myself, if a female is telling you no, I don't even care if it's like salacious in a manner, like it's like that, to me that's gonna be a throw off, and I'm like, it's cool, like, all right, let's do something else. Like people be too thirsty, bro. I ain't gonna lie, and it be both sides too. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Bro could probably speak to it more.
the truth about that. People are too damn thirsty, right? God. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying. What
No,
was
I'm done. He can go. Brother can
yeah,
go.
people are too thirsty. Like your life isn't gonna end if you miss an opportunity to have sex. Go ahead, Keon. What do you think? Are you on the opposite side? What's your take on this?
Really not really. I kind of agree with what y'all saying, to be honest. That's why every time I get into these conversations, I get confused because it's like I don't only a selective certain group of individuals, you know what I mean, are sitting up here even thinking this kind of way where it's like I can take it, or this is okay for me to try to convince her to have sex. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody pretty much agrees when it comes to this, but there is a certain group of individuals who think like just trying to convince her is okay, and it's not. You know, what I mean, it's not. You can go to jail for that today. So be careful.
Thank you both. And we're gonna start the video again. Please hit the like button. And Blizak, you're not blocked on the HOK. I don't see you blocked. So let me start this video again.
And for a lot of women, when you can control yourself and when you respect what I say and my boundaries, that's a real turn on. And I'm thinking of you afterwards. And I can't wait till you contact me again. I'm saying, hypothetically. So remember that. So anyway, let me get it. Let me give. Well, go ahead, Timotheus, and then go, Brody. You coming after him? Go ahead, Tim.
Like when I was saying earlier, just really quick, like when I said that the generation I come from, even though we had males giving us advice that was still bad advice, like for the situation with the sister mentioned, where the buddy was like, "Wow, here it is." Like the guys that I came up with was like, because she said she noticed it through his clothes. So
right.
what he should have been on is like, well, if you want to see it, you can. It's right there. Let her do it. Invite
Look at
her
him right here with his coercion self. Don't do that, Timothy.
Invite her to it, because if you invite her to it, she did it. You didn't do it. She did it. You didn't do it.
This is the thing. Okay, I said coercion. You're not a coercion person. That's may offend you, but my point is, this is the old. You see the gray hairs. Let me just no offense. See the gray hairs in his head and his beard, right? That's what I'm saying. The old school, they knew I'm not gonna force it. They were like, okay, baby, what's going on? And you're just sitting there like,
I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to hear you.
Yeah, Nepal. Because you making a great point here. Like the difference, I think, a lot of times is the generational, what I mean, acceptance of it. A lot back in the day, hell, you even hear like big, movie stars and rap stars talk about, yeah, we used to mess with girls that was younger. You know what I mean? It was just a regular thing. And I hate to say it like that, but it's just an evolution of like men and their thoughts. Like we went from, Dane Dash and Jay-Z trying to marry a 16, 17-year-old Aaliyah to now it's not even normal for people to date 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds. You know what I mean? You got to be 21 for it to be normal. You know what I mean? So I think there's just an evolutionary thing going on here.
Oh, I didn't know I was muted. I'm asking you, and then I'm going to ask Ngolo. Do you think that this evolution, this change, and is a good thing, or you think it's like we have our brother Easy Band's official is mad as hell. He doesn't like. He want to go back to the baby, please, baby, please. So, do you think it's a good thing that we've evolved in this way, or is it a bad thing for men?
It's a good thing, but I think it makes men just look bad. Like now, because now it just gives people, it opens the door for it to be like, okay, this is how bad men have been, so this is how bad men are. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first came up here, I was gonna say Nepal, it seems like you trying to make it a men's smear campaign a little bit, but that's the only that's the only bad part I feel about it. But
What makes you think that part though? I want to hear why.
Because it makes it almost seem as though that like men can't also be in this situation, like where like a woman, like he's saying no, you know what I mean? Like, and a woman is just like, I'm a woman. Like a woman will call you gay if you say no. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
situations like that where it's like, why would you say no to a woman? I don't know, because I don't like her. You know.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I said men too. I agree with that. It's just that when in those situations, and I'm not saying no, let me rephrase it. Absolutely 100% women can be they can be predatory and they can be aggressive and they can practice SA on men.
yeah,
Now, that 100% they can. Especially but there has to be a power dynamic that for me, now this is my personal perspective, for me usually the power dynamic in a heterosexual coupling is the male, and I know there are women who can take power positions, but I would say they probably would be women that are preying on younger men,
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
women who are preying on men with financial issues, like I'm a have him see with. Let me talk to you about that, because actually I am for men. Believe it or not, I'm a women's advocate, but I also advocate for men as well. Because what about the men out there who are being used? They're young guys. I was on Facebook. I was disgusted. It was like this 70-year-old woman, and she had like this young, attractive, like 23, 24-year-old boyfriend. It was so disgusting to me. And I don't care. People are like, love is love. No, I know that there's some financial thing going on there.
Of course.
Um, so they can, maybe he learned to love his, that's like Stockholm syndrome. But for me, I think that is also SA. I think she's using coercion. She's using
but
her money for him.
But
So
but Nepal, let me ask you this though, because like okay, like with kids, right? Kids don't have a secular love for their parents. You know, they don't have like a sexual attraction. Well, normal relationships, right? They don't have a sexual attraction to their parents. Like what why would a kid love their parent in your opinion? Let me ask you that.
because their parents have been there for them since birth. The parents take care of them. The parents they've proven that they can be trusted. The parents have protected them and actually save their lives. Help them thrive.
So
So
could that 70-year-old woman do the same for their 20-year-old kid?
um for in a sexual relationship, I find it to be repulsive to be an I mean, she wasn't looking like Halle Berry 70. She
Yeah.
looked like grandma needs a chair. Y'all help her get to the chair.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean
crazy.
it. I mean, she was like barely able to walk.
Yeah, that's
And for
crazy.
me, I'm like, he can't even have the natural sexual relationship he needs to have as a man. He could hurt her. So um, what I'm saying is with men though, look at this. It's laughed at, oh ha ha. But if that was a young woman, it would be everybody up in arms. Oh my gosh, how could this guy do this? This is an old man. So really, we need to speak up for men as well. But if we do it for men say, I'm not weak. I don't need you to talk for me. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like when men get child raped by their teachers, a 13-year-old boy with a 30-year-old teacher who's sexy. It's like everybody pats him on the back. And it's wrong. It's disgusting. She needs to be in prison forever. It can definitely happen to men, but this is a couple different topics that we're merging into the coercion. So for the record, men definitely we're talking about power positions though. So I'm gonna move over to Ngolo and let him either comment on what we're talking about. But I do want to go back to, do you think things are worse for men now that we're more hypersensitive post Me Too movement with these laws, or do you think that things are going, is it just right?
I mean, as far as for men specifically, I understand how the system has been created. Like as for black men specifically, no, it's not. It's never gonna be good for us over here. I mean, from a top down standpoint, we have to police our own and create our own social norms. If we going by what society's doing, it's never going to be in a black man's favor, whether that be in any sense. But I mean, as far as from a female standpoint, I think the society's conducive to them on a surface level, but I think on a more intrinsic fulfilling level, I don't think so. I think modern society is leaving females to, I guess, they're experimenting and experiencing individual freedoms, but I don't think that that's leading to fulfillment later on in life. I feel like
Uh-oh.
every society has its give and take, but the current trajectory of society it's more to hedonism, which is cool for the moment, but when you look at like more familial structures, it's not conducive to that. So it's give and take with anything. For an individualistic person, the American culture is perfect. But for somebody that's communal like myself, I'm really opposed to it. But as far as it goes from like age is concerned, I mean, now that we know that the brain is fully developed at 25, I think that like of course back in the day you would see 16-year-olds being betrothed to people that are older. I think that practice shouldn't occur any longer. But I'm still with arranged marriages because a lot of people really don't know what they want. They just out here going for lust, and that's leading to the current divorce rates we have now. Everybody's lonely, and I think that somebody's parents or elders in the community know what you need more than you from a younger age. So I'm all in respect of traditional relationships, but I'm not with the like huge age gaps. To me, that's predatory because there's no way you can tell me that somebody that's 35 and somebody that's 18 is equally yoked maturity level. I don't care like whether it's a man or a female. You're not finna convince me of that. But as far as arranged marriages, I'm with that 100%.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that input. Asar, Asar, what would you like to add? And by the way, whoever Wolf's Wall Street is, Willie, I need you to turn on your camera, my friend, in the backstage. Go ahead, Asar. What would you like to add, friend?
Yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are speaking on this tone because I think one day we should do a show on this one thing that I'm a very big advocate on, and I think it could be it definitely is an educational issue for a lot of our sisters, young and older. And this particular subject that I'm an advocate for men on is paternity fraud. Let's speak about how a lot. I mean, 30%. They went and looked at all of the DNA testing that's been done throughout all the agencies, and 30% of those men that were tested were not the fathers, right? And I think it's important for a lot of sisters to understand that it's important. See, you will always know who's the mother of your child because you're having a child. But the man never 100% knows. He has to trust his woman at all times. And there could be a time when you as a man you think that you know and you don't know, right? And we've seen cases from as young as 18-year-old young mothers who've experienced cheating on her loved one or being with multiple men and picking the man who they feel is more financial adequate to be the father to the child or more who they like more, right? Versus actually um, dealing with the actual father of the child. And there's a whole host of issues that it could cause, not only for you, your child, and the men, but also when you get government in that as well. So, and that creates a lot of issues. So I think that, you know, women should understand that if you do find yourself in a situation where you don't know who the father is, you have to be honest with yourself, especially for the child as well. But for the man that is the father, he has a right to know. You may have made the wrong choice, but that's something that we have to live with. And it would be better for you to be honest with yourself and the other man so that child can know who their both of their parents are and really have a real productive life. And I'll land my plane there.
That's a good point. It's a
You want
great
to
point.
go in and elaborate? You want to add more about that? Yeah, you.
Yeah,
One
no,
second.
I just want to say, Nepal, this is why we need you, man, because I've never agreed with Seven Asar at all in this whole entire time I've known him, and yet for some reason tonight, Nepal, with this conversation, this is why we need you. I promise you, because I definitely agree with Asar. There's a lot of men out here that are literally raising kids that are not theirs, and are taking care of kids, are in debt because of child support, like all because they signed the birth certificate. Like there's certain moments where they don't even, just because you signed the birth certificate, it makes you automatically responsible for that, for whatever goes on in the mom's life. So I definitely agree with Asar on that one.
Okay, great. What did you want to say anything about the paternity stuff, Angola, before I start the video again?
Oh yeah, I mean that I've seen that's too common. Like that's regular occurrence. A lot of, like with them, I see a lot with a lot of them it happened in my family. Them ancestry DNA tests made a lot of awkward conversations, man. Like
Oh,
a lot of people who thought they wasn't
Mhm.
they wasn't related. They blood cousins, blood brothers.
Facts.
All it was crazy, man.
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
Exactly.
why it's important to know. That's why it's important to know. Decades can pass, right?
Yes, sir. That's crazy. Peace, global dictator, and Wall Street Willie. I can't see your face, my friend. Just put it up to the camera. But all I can see your whole face, not half of it. Can you put your whole face to the camera so if there's some issue? Okay, I see you now. Come on in, because in case we don't want anything going on, and we
I
know who you are.
totally get
Yeah,
it.
they done had a
I
lot of people
understand.
that came up and did some weird stuff, brother. That's the only reason, man.
Nah, I've been
Right.
a long time supporter, so I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Peace.
I,
What would you like to say, my friend?
so I really just wanted to present a question. So, do women see any accountability they have in their image and feel any responsibility for how they're presenting themselves? Like
Uh oh.
when you look at hip hop
I like
music
that.
right now, women are definitely in control of hip hop music, right? But I'm not even just talking about the music. I'm saying, what do you expect from a guy when he's in a club and he sees this beautiful woman he wants to talk to, and she's half naked and she's bent over to sense sexy red, yeah, and she's talking about how she gonna put it on his mustache and whatnot. Like, is there any responsibility there to present a different image that would demand respect? Because some
Yeah.
women demand respect. Let's be clear. Some women don't have these issues because they don't put themselves in a certain light. I'm not saying that that will totally protect you from a weirdo, because we do have a lot of weirdos out here. But the over sexualization, it's gotten very comfortable from women. So to a certain degree, you gotta expect to have the good with the bad. And I'm not defending it.
Okay, well, I think that women who are acting like Sexy Red, they're following an irresponsible person. Like Sexy Red has actually been said, she's on record saying she's glad she was spreading the HERPES. She said
Mm.
she's glad and that she'll do it again. So I wouldn't use women who are out twerking on the dance floor as as the norm. I don't know where the brother went. But yeah, there are women out there being irresponsible. However, that should make a man say even more. Number one, you want to worry about your health. Why you know what I mean? Like if you see she's easy and out there and wild, you want to think, damn, do I want to risk getting a disease from her? And then you want to go, oh dang, do I want her to risk her putting me in prison the next day and I have a disease in prison? You get it? Like, so I'm gonna see what the men say about that. Anybody, let's go to Ngolo. What do you think
Yeah,
about
I agree. I mean, like you as a man, if you gotta look, bro, you having intercourse with somebody and it's not protected, you gotta think, bro, if I got this woman pregnant, would I be okay with her being the mother of my children, bro? And for 9 times out of 10, if it's that casual of a intercourse or interaction, you would not. Like there's no like You are disgracing your family if you got a female like Sexy Red pregnant, bro. Just imagine her being a mother of your child.
Yeah, that's real. Even if she didn't have a disease, even if she didn't say no, you gotta go for the rest of your life. Your baby's mama is a lady that is at the club, bent over, dancing to Sexy Red. Like that's your life now. That's a good point. I didn't say that.
You know what I taught my daughter? My daughter's 3 years now, but when she was going through those, I had to have honest conversations as a man and a father that no man really had. A man is supposed to have with his daughter, in my opinion. And I told her, if you ever have sex with a boy, don't allow him to have sex with you without a condom. Whatever excuse he has, because ultimately, unless he forces himself on you, it's your responsibility as a young woman not to allow any man to have sex with you unprotected, right? The young man should have the same conversation. If I had a son, I would have the same conversation with him as well. But she is the first. That demand from her is the first line of defense of protecting both of you guys, really.
So Seven, when you think your daughter is right to have a child? When you think it's like the right moment for her, in your opinion?
You talk about what I would prefer,
Yeah, what
or
would you prefer?
I would prefer her to be married and just to be married. She doesn't have to be established in no type of job or nothing, because you guys can support each other through that in that marriage. That would be my major preference, for her to be age adequate, of course, but she's 23 and don't have any children right now, so
That's good.
she's waiting for that. But um, yeah, her getting married, that's the only requirement for me, to someone who's good to her, of course, but that's the only requirement that
So
I
what if
think
you had a
she
son
should have.
then? What would be your preference for your son?
It would be the same requirement.
Just marriage?
Because this is another thing for the young men out here. It's hard for them to date out here for young men, because the way the social media has uplifted the standards of dating. From I remember when I'm dating myself, but I remember when I was 21 years old. I could get I was dating I could date women. I could walk them to the park, right? We walk to the park, get to know each other, right? Go get some ice cream, go get some a pizza. We got to know. It was about getting to know each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have to take her to. I didn't have to spend $50 to $100 on her. I mean, I could if I wanted to. She left it up to. That was the preference of our first date. She left all that up to me, and it was just about her wanting to get to know me. Most of the women that I dated when I was young, it was about them really wanting to get to know me. A lot of young men and young women, they get to know each other by profiles and pictures, and they really and text and DMs. They really don't have conversations. They don't look each other in the eye. I think body language and all of that is important, and it's missing now. And it's hard for young men to know how to communicate to young ladies, to rise to the financial standards that a lot of young ladies want young men to have today. And that's just from what I've seen as an older man. I think it's you are a young man, Keon. Are those some of your issues when you're
Nah, not
trying to
really.
date?
Because honestly, I think, because this is what I was going to ask you actually. Because I think personally, as a man or a woman, I think you should be at your 100% before you even look for a relationship. Honestly, because to me, you're not gonna fully be happy unless you're at that whatever that metaphorical 100% of who you are. You're always gonna have some type of problem, or you're always gonna have to compromise in some type of way. You're gonna have to have a 50-50 relationship or something like that. When honestly, if you was just at your 100% or at your best, then you'll be able to, actually find what you like. You know what I mean? You can actually go out there and go get the BBL women if you want that. You can go get the good women that went to college or went to Spelman or whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is just available for you when you're at your 100%. That's kind of what I think.
I think when you have a family structure, you'll see more of that. But with people being more independent, it's hard for someone. Nature takes its course, and it's hard for young men and young women to stay disciplined in the way that you're speaking of, because that's actually takes
Yeah, that's a
discipline
fact.
to do that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And
That's a fact.
I think you're going to need that father and that mother to be there, that courting, that chaperoning, in order for
Yeah.
that to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because even in my situation, like my life, I definitely I had a child way before. I'm not at my 100% now. You know what I mean? So I had a child way before that. So like that's the hypothetical thought for sure. But like to me, that's like ultimately like when you're at like your mid-30s and you got your career, you didn't accomplish a couple things. Ultimately, me, that's like when you should be able to start your family because again, you have that option to get exactly what you want.
Well, that's why I think nowadays younger women are attracted to older men who are more stable and can provide those type of lifestyles and foundations for them versus the younger men. You know, when in the 1970s, a 21-year-old could buy a home.
A home,
Now
exactly.
the average age for a homeowner, for a male to buy, or female, the average homeowner is 40 years old now. So it's much harder for you to establish a family now than it ever has been in this country. And I think we need to have more shows like this. Once again, we have to give thanks to our sister Queen Napa for bringing a panel like this and a subject like this, because I think more of topics like this need to be spoken on, and more edification on these issues by
That's a
having
fact.
discussions like this should be made.
That's a fact. Because it's like we got our religions right, but at the end of the day, this is reality. Our relationships.
Facts.
This is what we deal with every day. We deal with
Facts.
women getting into relationship with domestic violence situations. Like trying to stop
Facts.
those type of like this is what we deal with on a daily basis. So I like these conversations a little bit better. But go ahead.
And before we wait, I don't mean, I appreciate you guys talking. I want to just real quick. I got to get to the
Baby,
part
you
of
see
the
it?
video.
Happy to see you
Stay,
too.
stay
You
right
want to
here,
see it
but
in
I got to
post?
find the part of
No,
the
no, no,
video.
no. Yeah, that is how.
Where the
But
guy
see,
starts
that is
talking about
how.
how he has
That
to
is
have girls
actually
do
smart.
oral.
Got awful.
Him, hold on.
XYZ.
I'll get it.
Relationship people on these internet for like.
Where is it at?
My point. So I want to make it completely clear what you're saying in your life and what Light said about her family. These men on the internet trying to
let y'all know ahead of time that
say when I first meet a woman.
Here it is.
Say when I first meet a woman, she gives me fellatio. I think of women who may be on the spectrum.
And I wasn't making fun of the women on the spectrum. I'm thinking he's taking advantage
Her man
of
does, unless she wants you to come take her man. So you do with what you like and what you want. You don't have to put standards of what other people like and want and say, because my man doesn't open my door all the time, because my man doesn't give me flowers, that means he hates me.
Thank you, Serious B, for the $50 super chat. We appreciate you being here. And I hope that you definitely are subscribed. And everybody, don't forget to subscribe. So basically, this girl was trying to rage bait women, saying, if your man doesn't always open your door, if your man doesn't give you flowers all the time, candy, then he doesn't love you. That's ridiculous. But when this is going to lead us into the conversation where the brother who said when he meets women, it's a requirement that they must do oral on him before he even takes them on a date. He's going to start talking about how he doesn't open doors. Just let's listen.
He's just trying to trigger people. So just letting y'all know that.
And he's young. I mean, that's some young stuff. Like the flowers, I'm like, dude, pay my bills.
Yeah, flowers. I'll be like, why are you spending all this money?
Right. How much is the flowers? Hey, just keep that and pay a bill.
Taylor has never, and when I say never, I'm not just saying that just to like make a video. I mean, has never raised his voice when he talks to me. He has never called me out of my name. So he has never called me like, oh my God, he has never called me like the B word.
First off, let me ask the brothers. This is kind of off topic. What do you think about this girl saying, let me try to put this up here where we can see you guys better. Thank you for the super chat once again. All right. So I'll start with, let me put you guys up here. I can't see you. All right. So again, we have Ngolo, and then I'm gonna go down the line. What do you think about this woman saying that if your man doesn't open your door all the time, if your man doesn't buy you flowers at least twice a week, if your man doesn't, if your man ever raises his voice, I mean, even if it's just like, you're wrong, even if he raises his voice, I'm not talking about calling you out of your name. She says any of those things indicate that he doesn't love you and that you're not getting treated right. What do you think about that, Ngola?
I mean, she's a product of being raised by Disney, with this programming that that the women of today in the culture and men have been susceptible to. Like, people don't realize how much we are programmed in a society. Like, a lot of things that people desire, they really have not organically contrived these desires. These desires have been placed on them by what they've seen on TV and what they've seen in advertisement. These companies spend millions of dollars in marketing. They have master psychologists on their marketing teams, bro, and they target this stuff. This stuff is not conducive to creating succinct cultures that are functional. It's just not. And people have to actually do real self-analysis and really figure out what they really want. And by the time they know what they really want, they 40, 50 years old and been through countless relationships. And then a lot of people get on the internet bitter. But I mean, this is what this society is controlled to do. I mean, it's designed to do. Like the brother just said, like, wait until 35 to like that. This stuff is strategic. They don't want population to be steadily increasing how it is, bro. So they're making the age of people procreating later and later and later because they're putting the financial strains on it. Like in cultures, bro, if you wait till 35 to have children, you're viewed as something's wrong with you. In most cultures outside the United States, if you a female past 27, 25 that's not married, like people look at you like something's wrong with you. Like, it's just different standards. And me personally, I think most of the cultures outside of the U.S. are more conducive to creating functional families and creating families that actually are that have values and have structure. But I'll pass the mic.
Thank you, Ngola. Brother Law, if you come back, I was waiting for, I didn't want to interrupt Ngola while he's talking, but you can show yourself, make sure that's you. I mean, I say show your face, because we've had people put up different avatars of regulars, and then they hit the panel, and then they will unfortunately corn bomb the
Man.
chat. So, Brother Law, come back and just let us see that's you in the background, and I can bring you to the panel if you want to. All right, Keon, what do you think? I agree with a lot of what Ngolo said about her being unrealistic. What do you think about her saying those things about relationships?
Yeah, I same here. I agree with what Ngola was saying at first. I feel like he makes it seem as though it was like a like a evil cabal that's forcing these things upon us. But me personally, I think it's just a natural, evolution. I hate to keep saying the word because I don't believe in it, but evolution. I really think it's just a natural evolution. How people just over time, create these systems such as capitalism, communism, whatever kind of ism you can think of, and it creates our society. Like he said, that's why I say I agree with him, because I do think that our society is based off of this rat race where women or men in general are looking for the best possible outcome of every situation, not knowing that life is just not like that. Now there is some people that are born with certain assets. Some dudes, they got the ham hock, some girls they got the dump truck. You know what I mean? And those things can lead to more things where other people are just lusting after them, and they can make that profitable. I mean, that's just reality of it. But at the end of the day, we try to stem past that and try to be a little bit more righteous, I guess. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Thank you, Keon. 7.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I mean, everything that those brothers are saying is right on point. I think what the ism to actually, be a little bit more exact for me, the ism that Keon is talking about, particularly for this, is feminism. I think there was pros and cons to feminism, and I think that one of the causes of feminism was it killed chivalry. Chivalry is dead. Like Nas said, hip hop is dead. Chivalry has died, and it's not because all women aren't receptive to chivalry, but there had been a condition that I'm a boss. I don't need a man. I can do everything on my own. And some of these young men and older men are trying to be chivalrous to some of these women, not all. And they're even myself. I've opened. I'll say 50% in my life since I've been a grown man. There has been women who were offended for me opening up the door for them, and women who have welcomed it. Right. And I don't know if there have been a lot of men who've tried to do gestures that they thought were nice to women and encountered a negative response from them. But I think that's what killed chivalry. And social media projecting these things kind of affected how she thinks, because these men aren't doing the things that she wants, but there are women out there who don't want them. So there becomes a mixed bag and a ball of confusion, in my opinion. And men are just giving up on being chivalrous and just on a wait and see if this woman is the woman I should be chivalrous to. I think that's what it is.
Okay, thank you so much. Going on to the brother Wall Street. What do you think about this sister saying if your man doesn't always get your door, if he doesn't give you flowers at least once or twice a week, if he even raises his voice ever to you, then he does not love you?
So I'm gonna be honest, and I want to be clear. I'm not a contrarian, right? I'm just being honest. I have no problem with what she said. I actually have a high level of respect for the fact that she is vocal about the standard that she has. I do respect that she has a standard because a lot of men and women don't necessarily have a standard. Now, that's not necessarily right for me, but that doesn't mean she can't attain that. So I don't have an issue with the standard that she has. I mean, even in terms of flowers, you'll pay more getting some of these women nails done than you will for flowers twice a month. Not a big deal. So I don't have an issue with her having a standard. I have a high level of respect for her being vocal about her standard because, like a guy like me, that may not necessarily work for me, right? Like I may raise my voice and then realize I was wrong and come back to you later on. I shouldn't have raised my voice, right? But that doesn't work for her. So now I'm not going to waste my time. She's been upfront, she's been vocal, she's laid the grounds for a standard. I actually respect her opinion. And I think homie was capping, like just looking at him, like you not getting topped off on the first date every time. Like
Oh
stop.
no, it's not the brother on the screen.
Oh, all
It's not
right,
the
all right,
brother.
all
Oh
right,
no, 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 no.
all right, all right.
But let's go ahead and we will be getting to the guy on this. It's the guy underneath DJ Genesis picture. He's only got an avatar.
Hey Genesis. That's
Yeah,
my sis.
she's not on here, but she's on this playback. So let's listen in.
Yo,
Oh
the
wait.
fake.
Sorry. My bad, brother-in-law. Peace, brother-in-law. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace and blessings. Walaikum salam. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. What would you like to add about whatever you've been listening to?
Basically, just been listening. And for the most part, my question is for all these brothers that are dating these girls and intimacy and things of that nature. I didn't hear anybody talking in regards for semen retention for men.
I don't believe in that, brother. I ain't gonna. I think that's some weird virgin stuff. To be honest with you, brother. Like I don't deal with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So I'll respond to that. I definitely believe in that. Like from coming from a place of being extremely active when I was in my wayward years, right? I wasted a lot of energy, time, attention, and money, right? Being all over the place trying to knock stuff down. Like, yeah, semen retention is definitely a place where, men, especially black men, can kind of elevate ourselves and avoid certain situations, just not even chasing something to be in a situation you don't want to deal with.
Yeah,
I
I
think that's
agree.
I think it's subjective, and it will work for the man that it works for. and a man may have something else that works for him. I think it's a tool that can be used. I don't think it's all be all.
Yeah, because
I
I
don't
honestly,
disagree with
I
that.
don't think it ever does. To me, right? I may have came a little bit too strong. I just don't think that a lot of people that I see use the semen retention type of like ideology, whatever you want to call it, right? It's a lot of guys who I feel like weren't getting any type of play in the first place. Like to me, it's just like, and then they try to make it this like philosophical thing where it's like, okay, you work on yourself and all this other stuff. But I don't disagree with that. You should work for yourself. Like I said, I think you should be 100% before you get in a relationship. So I do believe in that kind of.
But it's just an exercise in discipline. Whether I mean abstaining from anything is positive for disciplinary reasons. It's like if you just saying you intermittent fasting or you fasting every other day, it's that
Fasting is
it,
healthy.
it
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's reducing your desires to accomplish something that you need. It's really prioritizing. It's just an exercise.
And
No,
I
I feel
think
that.
Keon is talking about it should be out of choice, not out of forced
Of course.
circumstance.
I
Yeah,
Because
mean,
yeah,
forced
yeah.
if it's
circumstance
not
can
by choice,
create
if
aggression.
if it's not by choice, then you're not gonna get the benefits of the exercise.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's all I was, because once it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm doing this, it's like you're making an excuse, and that's what I don't. I hate. This is the only thing I hate about the manosphere, right, or red pill, whatever you want to call it. It seems like they make excuses for men, and I don't like that. Like Nick, like as men,
They do.
I've never seen any of my grandfathers, brothers, uncles, any sons, grandsons ever talking about, I need this to be right for me to be able to get a woman, or I need this to be going right for me. I just never heard of it. It almost makes me a little bit sick, to be honest with you.
I think the problem is though that a lot of the people that are controlling and dominating the conversation, they're unhappy people. Like
That's a fact.
with a lot of these men, they're straight incels. With a lot of the women, they're in hoes. You get what I'm saying? Involuntarily jumping out the window and doing stuff that they know they really shouldn't even be doing, and they're not getting what they want out of making that sacrifice. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people are in weird situations where they aren't getting what they want, and the unfortunate part is most of the time they control the conversation, and
That's
that's
a
the
fact.
worst.
And
I
women
think
control sex, right? And men control relationships. And I think we're in an era now where
what?
women, they can have sex with whoever they want to, and men, and they're not wanting relationships with men anymore. So those men
So
who
what did
used
you
to
just
get
say,
women,
Abdul?
I think women control sex, the access to sex, and men control the access to relationships.
You really believe that?
I do.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
It's usually the woman. I'm gonna tell you, a woman can get any man that is attracted to her, right? And that's not hard for her to get a man that's attracted to her. But to get a man to stay, to really love her, to really care for her, that's a rare thing for women to encounter in the first meeting, right? You have to spend time. You have to create trust, and only a man that's willing to do that, um, then a woman can get that trust, and then he can say, well, yeah, I want to be with you, because like I said, women, especially women that are wanted, they pick which man they want, right? It could be,
I can
there's men
co-sign
out
that.
there, that are with several different women because women only attracted to all the women want them, right? And they can control, or rich men, they control. Men that are wanted control relationships. Let me say it like that. Men who are wanted are control relationships. Men
And
who aren't
sex as
That's
well.
wanted, men who aren't wanted, either do whatever they can do to try to get a woman, right? Or they become incels, like you said, right? Because like a woman can have sex with really any type of a man, not any man, but with a man. He can be an ugly man or he can be a handsome man, but it's not going to be hard for her to have sex with a man, especially in social media. But it's much harder for her to get into a quality, a real relationship. Not
Mm.
no, not no relationship that where you and okay, we had sex and now we going together and we in a toxic thing. I'm talking about a real relationship. Only men can provide that to a woman. A woman cannot provide that for a man because most men just want to have sex in their first encounter anyway, right?
That's
So
not true.
that's what I mean when I say that. I didn't say all. I said most. I didn't say all.
How you feel about that, brother La?
That's not true at all. I mean, I look at it from this standpoint. The internet has corrupted and distorted a lot of choices in relationships.
Amen,
Like,
shalom, and hallelujah. That's a
I agree.
fact.
I
That's a
agree with
fact.
that.
Yeah.
I
you
think
can't.
you know what though. I think that's kind of like an old man cop out though. You know,
No,
because
no. I want
No,
to
no,
back
it's
that up, and
not.
I'll tell you why.
It's not. I actually said that earlier. I said that social media is part of the issue, and it is. It's
And
becoming
I'll
a
tell you why
more
it's not an
dominant
old
part.
man. I can tell you
Well,
why
let's
I think
hear
it's not an
from
old.
No Saint, and then we're gonna get back to that part where I want you guys to hear the guy saying he requires a fellatio.
Ridiculous.
Go ahead, No Saint.
No, I just want to say why I don't think it's an old man thing, because it's allowing young people. First of all, that's why I think incels come from. Believe it or not, I don't remember incels being around. I mean, I'm sure there were, but not like they talk about today. And the other part is this. The other part is this. The internet and Instagram with these women, you know, shaking their booty, it allows guys to think they have access to those type of women. If you think back when I was growing up, nobody in my neighborhood you didn't look at and say, oh, how is she with him? No, they were all kind of, okay, yeah, they belong together. I think these young people today think they have access to the beautiful women and then become incel because they're thinking they deserve that woman they see on the screen. And the world just doesn't work that way. You got to have money, you got to have swag, or you got to have something. You got to bring something to the table. You can't just be playing video games all the time and expect to go get a woman.
And that's the key. I mean, I look at it from this standpoint as well. You get brothers as well as sisters that look on Instagram and look on these different platforms and, oh, this woman is beautiful, this woman is that, she's this and that. Visually it looks amazing, but you don't know at the end of the day that person can be dead broke.
Facts.
So you essentially putting up this facade of being this Miss Everything, and then in actuality you really a quarter water. And it's vice versa. Like,
yeah. I mean, makeup and wigs have catfished a lot of men.
Yeah, that whole ideology and
We're talking
mindset.
about makeup and wigs now. What happened?
I mean, it goes both. I was just using it as an example of it going in both ways. It's facts.
That fake it till you make it. It's played out.
Hey, you ain't wrong, brother.
Okay, well let's
but it's
that's
not
it.
really though, because we'll be
I'm
the
gonna let you
same
say that
ones.
because sa.neter has a show coming up after this. But no, go get your thought out, and then I'm gonna start the video.
And I'll be quick, Nepal, but the only reason I disagree with that is we'll go out of our way to buy all these bottles in a section, right? And do all these things just to try to attract these women, right? So a lot of guys are more or less just falling into a trap the same way a lot of women that give their bodies away fall into a trap. You're not getting what you want out of this situation. You're going above and beyond to do what you think should earn you what you want, right? And then you become bitter because she took your drink and then she brought it over to me like, yeah, here, he buying drinks. Here, take this. I'm going home with you tonight. But he's jumping out the window with his section and his bottles and the sparkles. And then these guys become resentful.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. So thank you. Let's listen a little bit more. I want to get to the part because I want to hear from you gentlemen about what this guy says. So and then we're gonna close it down. If the sisters were supposed to come in, I don't know if they got, I mean, I know they got the link. So if you're out there in the audience, hit the link. Timotheus, if you want to come in and say something, hit the link. So let's listen to the rest of this.
Listen to how she said this again. Let me rewind this a little bit.
He has never called me like, oh my God. He's never.
Go forward.
Okay. He never yelled and said, stop being irrational. That's raising your voice.
Oh, so I'm talking about her saying her man never raised his voice to her.
Voice. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, whatever.
Raising voice, I don't know. I don't think I really ever raised my voice at a woman. I don't talk loud. That's not my
You're
thing.
saying that, Brody?
Yeah.
But when you meet them,
Your voice is raised just in general. Or maybe your
Brody,
microphone.
you don't raise your voice, but the first time you meet them, you're putting your member in their mouth.
Yeah, like I established certain things very early on. Just like what's talked about here is she establishes early on how she likes things to be.
Right.
So there's a tone that's set. When you set the tone, then things go a certain way. For me personally, I set a tone where I don't raise my voice. I don't argue with women. The only women I argue with is on these panels and in the back chats.
Well, I get it. So I'm just making a point that you may not raise your voice, but right off rip, before you even take a woman out on a date, you somehow expect, I almost said require, you expect her to give you a fellatio. So that's not better than raising your voice in a relationship, in my opinion.
Require is a better word to use than expect. For me, it's a prerequisite.
Yeah, so I'd rather be around a guy who can actually not be a robot. If he's upset about something, he can raise his voice as long as he's not disrespecting me or being violent. I prefer somebody actually expressing themselves as a human being if they're upset than someone requiring me to do a sexual act when I first meet. That's just me.
Everything is consensual. If women like me, they like to do what they like to do. That's cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the day, how many women have done that first night they met a guy? My philosophy is simply this. I believe that for every single woman out there, I'm saying this real quick. Let me get my stuff off.
How many women have done that the first night they met a guy? It's not on a high level. That's just social media. Nobody's going on the date the first night and just doing a fellatio. No,
maybe not the date, but there's some guys in between there.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not date. You say when you just first meet them. No, very, very few women are.
There's guys in between. There's guys you just hung out with a couple of times. You never went out on a date with. There's that one dude who was breaking case of emergency when you had that one breakup back in college. There's all different type of scenarios where things go.
That is not typical. You're talking about some shit. I'm not gonna lie, and this isn't an offense to people who are mentally disabled.
It's extremely typical.
When I hear somebody say, when I first meet a woman, she gives me fellatio, I think of women who may be on the spectrum, maybe women who are not fully aware of the fact that they're being taken advantage of. I don't picture a woman who's just a normal lady out getting her groceries and she meets you and then all of a sudden she's in your car giving you a fellatio. That tells me that person is not fully all there.
So
why do you have to disrespect the women?
Can I chime in for a second?
I'm not disrespecting women. You tell me that when you first meet a woman, she's giving you a fellatio. That tells me that person is not me personally, my feelings and what I can assess. Anyone who's giving you oral, male or female, when they first meet you, something's wrong with them.
So here's what I was saying.
Can I chime in just a
think a lot of people are lying
about the video? So
I'm gonna let you chime in there. There's a little bit more. This is let me let everybody chime in. There's a lot more ridiculousness coming up, but let me let Willie go, and then I'll go through the panel. What do y'all think about this brother standing strong? And this isn't to beat Brody up. I wish he could be here. He has a whole movement called the Sassy Negro Apocalypse. He says men should be paid for SEX and that they shouldn't give SEX for free. And he also has that, what he says, remember, he said he requires when he meets a woman, not a date, that she does that. So I'll let you chime in, Willie, and then I'll go through everybody, and then we'll get back to this hilarious part.
I mean,
Go ahead,
first off, I do think a lot of these people, right? Like guys are lying about getting fellatio off top. A lot of these women are lying about being bought a bunch of purses and being taken care of financially. But on the other side of that, no, Sister Niqqa, I don't think it's as, foreign as you're making it, like it's just these crazy people. I think a lot of good women, right, are competing with what's going on out here. And a lot
Never.
of good women know that there are chicks doing this.
Never.
So when I'm just being honest, when they
No,
feel like they got,
I
when they feel,
appreciate you. Go ahead, brother. I'm just saying no, my friend.
yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
I'm being honest though, from my unfortunate experience when I was wayward, there are a lot of women out here competing with other women, right? So, okay, if it's likely he'll get that, fine, I'll do it first, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that is just subjected to the people on the spectrum. The Clarissa Shields is nah, I ain't gonna shoot at Clarissa. But I'm just saying, like, it's not just a people on the spectrum thing. I think currently, culturally, we're so over sexualized that a lot of people have sacrificed their morals and what they really think is okay unknowingly because they just see it as common. So this is what my homegirls are doing. This is what other women are doing. Fine. I like this guy. In this situation, I'll do it. I'm not saying this woman would do it all the time. But yeah, I do think some guys take advantage of women that are willing to sacrifice a certain level of respect they have for themselves to hold on to what they view in the moment as a good guy. It's not as foreign as you might think, Nepal. That's all I'm saying. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate your opinion and your perspective, your life perspective. So I'm just gonna put it out there as I appreciate it and respect your side. But for me, I've lived a long time. There's more years behind me than there are in front of me, and I've been around a lot of different women. I mean, all kinds of women, and even the ones who are, how do you say, workers, like strippers and stuff. They're not just meeting guys and doing that. But I guess, some people are out there just being, it's not even about being, it's not even a sexual thing. It's like, what do you care about your health and and where's your mind at? Like,
I
let
was
me
just
move on
about to say that.
yeah, let me move on to Brother Law, and then I'll get in all the other brothers on the panel. Go ahead, Brother Law. What's your take on what the brother on the video said? He requires it with strangers, not dates. Go ahead.
I mean, two analysis that I gained from that was one, he is cool with being a male gigolo,
Yep.
and two, you really don't care too much about your health because, granted, I'm gonna keep it in layman terms for the young brothers that can hear this. You might want to go get a little slow neck or some top, but you still could catch something from that.
Facts.
And with that being the case, and with that being said and done, are you really cool with letting a young lady go down on you to give you top? Then after that, she might want to kiss you. You gotta think, if she's that cool with doing that with me, what she was doing with the next couple of dudes she ran into.
Yeah.
How
But
disrespectful is that?
fam, you gotta realize, right? Like now, currently, a lot of the stuff that, we might do in secret, but never tell our friends about, these dudes out here leading with that off top. Like, oh, I eat butt. Like all types of why. It's a very weird sexual market, right? Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about, fellas. Don't
I
laugh at
praise
me.
God.
Can I add on about the
Jumping out
culture?
the window.
Oh no,
I want to add on about the culture
I might have to
of what that
excuse
brother is
myself
saying.
and let you guys talk because this. Let me get around the panel. Let's go to
No,
Ngolo,
but it's a
and then.
it's a
Oh,
younger
I'm sorry.
I'm
Go
so
folks.
ahead,
The
sorry,
Brother
younger
Sister
Law.
folks
Nepal.
is
I'm so sorry to be graphic. I
Brother Law,
apologize,
I think
Queen.
he wasn't finished. No, you're fine. Will, go ahead, Brother Law, and then we're gonna move to Ngolo and everybody else on the panel.
for the most part, it's about respecting yourself more than just respecting the opportunity to release and get a quote unquote what they perceive as being a nut. You gotta respect yourself more than that. Granted, the same way a woman looks at herself as a queen, you gotta look at yourself as a king too. And
Oh
as a
wow.
king, would you rather sit down and be entertained by peasants?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like Outkast said, man, keep your heart 3 steps. Keep your heart. These girls are smart. Play your part.
Play your part.
Yeah, thank you,
My
brother
girl's a
Love.
choosy lover, never went
Right.
out of
There
love,
comes
but
the next
Hold
verse.
on. Let's
Right.
get to Ngolo. Let's get to Ngolo and let him weigh in on that. What Brody said, what he required. Brody should be here, to be honest. Brody, if you hear this on the playback, we'll do a show for you. What do you think about Brody saying he requires that even before a date?
I mean, with all due respect, his sentiments are extremely disappointing. For a man that grown to be, that's what you leading with. That's the message that you putting out there. Like we as black men, bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. It go above the little mundane social dynamics, bro. We don't got time to be out here playing like that. Like I don't know where we think we are, like geopolitically, socially. Like our standard right now is not good. We don't have time to be out here entertaining all this frivolous nonsense. Like talking about you trying to give fellatio. Like how is that gonna be conducive to you helping build a family,
That's a whole
better your
fact.
community, bro? Like I don't like the stuff that we get like this childish. Like we grown men, bro. We not in grammar school, we not in high school no more. Like at a certain point in time, bro, it's you gotta be a man, bro. Like I don't under no civilization, no culture is thrived off telling a female I won't fillet you off the first night. You're not even married or none of that. Like I just don't get like in my opinion, I don't want to be disrespectful towards him. Let me not even put it towards him specifically. Any man that would think like that, bro, you don't value yourself as a man. If that's what your man is consistent of, and that's what you worried about, you don't value yourself past being object. You really objectifying yourself by even expressing something like that on the internet.
Yeah.
That is
I'll
But
pass the mic.
factual. Thank
but
you.
see,
Thank
bro, the
you.
sad part about it is where we're at culturally, you have a lot of men that just see value in themselves by how many they could knock down, and you have a lot of women that see the value in themselves about how much I can get out of several guys, right? It's just a very toxic climate we live in
Yes,
now.
it
And
is toxic.
so the question then has to become, how do we clean this up? At what point do we have to, pull a cord on some of the things that we accept aren't in our best interest as a people? They're not socially acceptable. Shouldn't be. And then what do we
Well,
do
Thank,
about
brother,
it?
thank you, Willie.
it's gonna get worse before it get better, though, brother.
Let's move on. Thank you, brothers. All of this is great input. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to close it out after this because sa.neter doing a show, but
Can
definitely
I
we
add
need
on?
more.
I just want to. I want to
No.
talk about the coach.
I'm coming to you, Asar, right now. We're going to be doing, I think Jabari sitting down with Tahuti today. He already sat down with, right? He sat
Ooh,
down
that
with
should
Yeah,
be good.
So go ahead,
it's gonna be
Asar. I
great.
want you to weigh in on what Brody said. And I'm gonna try, you know what? I'm gonna bring him over, actually, the guy who had the conversation, and I hope most of you brothers, if not all of you, can join the panel and actually talk to him one-on-one. So yeah, Asar, what do you think about that? I want you to weigh in. We've had some great input. What do you think about what the brother says?
I
Brody.
recognize specifically what he said. It comes from a specific culture, and that culture is pimping culture. That is a guerrilla pimping tactic. For that to be a requirement for, from a woman by him, and what that speaks to is he looks at women as property, as a piece of meat, as a prostitute. He really doesn't have a tremendous respect for women. He has more love, respect for himself than any woman in his life. I don't know if you guys ever saw the documentary of Iceberg Slim.
Yep.
And in that documentary, he talks about how he became a pimp, but not only that, where his thoughts of and his disdain for women came from. And it actually came from his mother. He saw how his mother treated this man who loved her and loved him. The only man in his life that treated him like a son and made his life positive. His mother left him for a pimp. Saw how devastated this man was, how much he loved her. This is him speaking from as a young boy what he saw. He saw how much this man loved her, how much he loved him, how much he would do anything for her, and how she lied and said, I'll be back. I'm not going to. And he begged her to stay, told her he'd give her the world. And from then on, from his own mother, he hated women.
Yeah.
And I think this brother's going through the same thing. There's an innate hate that he has for women just from that requirement by itself. He doesn't have any type of respect for women. And that's an issue that he's going to have to work on because, like my sister said earlier, it's going to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
It's going to get him in trouble.
Thank you so
And
much.
I'll end it there.
And
Let's
Sister
move on
Nepal,
to
real quick, you
Mhm.
touched on something earlier that does have to be addressed. The reality is a lot of these over-sexualized men became over-sexualized teenagers by older women, right? Like when we look at the conversation that's being had about Kevin Gates and what's the one from
R.
106 in
Kelly.
Park?
R.
No,
Kelly.
no, I'm not going to Kel. Shit.
But I mean, that's a fact. He
Nah,
was
but hear what I'm
molested by
saying
older
though.
women when he was young.
I'm
Yeah, he
saying like
was.
the conversation around Kevin Gates and the dude from 106 in Park who has like a 20-year-old wife or something, and he's 40, right? These things are viewed with disdain when it comes to men, right? But when the conversation happens when Angie Stone and D'Angelo passed, and we look at how that played out, right?
What about Angie Stone and D'Angelo?
He was a baby, man.
There
She
was
took
like
advantage
a
of that boy.
15-year difference. There was like a
She took
15-year
advantage of
difference.
that boy. You know what I
He
mean?
wasn't a baby.
He was a baby. I think they was
No.
17 when they met, when he was trying to get in the industry. They had their first
17?
child when he was 19.
I think it's a 15-year age gap between the
Yeah.
two.
Oh, I didn't know that. You know what? Let me tell a quick story. That makes sense. I met them. I was on a video shoot with them, and she was treating him just like he was her son.
Son,
Yeah.
yes.
But I thought they were the same age, so that
But
makes
look,
it
No.
not.
Nepal, here's
Okay,
the
but
other
go on.
side of it.
That was off topic, though.
Here's
Go
the
ahead.
other side of it. When you deal with an older woman and she teaches you how to do it just right, right?
Yeah.
And so now when you're sent back out into the market, when you're done with this older woman and now you're dealing with other women, you are already like a Navy SEAL in terms of pleasing women, right? And now you out there butt naked. How does it feel? Right? Like I'm saying these men are also created. You get what I'm saying? We have to
Some of
address
them
that
are.
as well.
Oh yeah, all of them are
Some of
created.
them.
A lot of men. We have to have another show about how men are being preyed upon at young men, and I'm talking
Yes.
about before they're men, when they're boys.
Boys,
You did
yes.
well handling this panel, Nepal. So I want to shout you out. Shout out to Uncle Sa.
Shout me
This
out.
this
That's
is a
right.
conversation that can't be handled in
Like you ain't
just
never did.
one conversation.
I know,
But
brother.
you opened the door and you did very well. So I
Thank you so
appreciate you
much.
for
I'm
that,
I'm
sis.
glad you came over. Shout out to Ivory Scales. Peace to Sirius B with another $50 super chat. We appreciate you. He says, to the host and the panel, grown folks talk. Yes, and we need much more of this talk. We need to hear from, we
I
have
agree.
an elite group of minds, even though we don't always agree, we get heated, but we do have an elite group of minds here. So it's good to hear from everyone. The brothers, the men and the women. I want to move on because we still have a lot of people who wanted to weigh in on just Brody himself. I'm going to go to, I think we didn't get to No Saint yet. And Keon, you didn't weigh in either, huh?
No, not really. But go ahead, no Saint.
Okay, after No Saint, you can
I
go.
want to
And
see this video.
You didn't see
Yeah.
it yet?
So I just have a
I want to see
question.
the
So
brother we're talking about. Like, what was
Oh, I'm gonna
his
bring him
stance?
back. You can barely see his icon, but
He's
he
doing way
definitely
too
will
much.
come in and defend himself. He will definitely want to talk about this. Go ahead, whoever
so
was speaking.
yeah. I just need to know: is this person you're talking about? He has his own channel and he mentions all this stuff? He has a big following or anything?
He has a whole movement that
Yeah.
is doing
So I'm not sure I believe
primarily.
him. I'm not sure. I think he's grifting, but he may be telling the truth. But it because all I can think about this is what kind of a woman is going to lead like that if they don't have to, right? Or
Not
if
the
they're not,
ones we
if they're
want.
yeah, right.
Yes,
Or if they're
there's
not,
plenty.
or if they're not.
Now there's some women. Those
There's
are the women
plenty
he's
of
looking
women
for.
out there. There's plenty of women out there that will lead like that. But you have
Well,
to
some
understand
will,
it.
but I
They
don't
for
He's
think
the
playing the
street.
numbers game. He's playing the numbers game. That's
yeah,
what
that
he
must be it. You're right. There are women that are unfortunately self-esteem or what feel they have to accept that
No, don't
treatment.
sugarcoat it. They for the streets. Leave them for the streets.
And it depends on how attractive he is too. If he's
Yeah, because
attractive to most women, yeah,
and
that
seven,
could be
seven.
happening
That
for
was
him.
gonna be my point. And if Saint, go ahead, brother. If you ain't done, my bad. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
saying. It sounds to me just I'd have to. You can't get
let
proof,
me
but
see if I can
it
get
sounds
him
like a
real
grift
quick.
a little
Just
bit
keep
to me. It
talking. I'm
sounds
gonna
like
see if
he's
I can get in touch.
exaggerating.
Let me see if I can get in touch with Brody so he can come in if he's available. But go ahead, finish. After you know, Saint Keon, go. I'm gonna see if I can get him.
No, I let Keon go. That's my thing. I have to listen to him a little bit longer to see if he sounds like I don't know. Sounds a little grifting to me.
I'm with you, brother.
I can see that too, bro. Because that's what. Look, at the end of the day, if you typing in how to get into a relationship on YouTube, you're the problem. Like that's already the problem right there. You shouldn't be going on YouTube first of all to be trying to look for how to get
Exactly.
how to be a better man or be a better woman. In my opinion, you may could find some people, but honestly, I feel like your relationship and your life is depending on your environment. So you should probably get in contact with people that's more around you that know you. Don't go into strangers asking them for advice. I mean, like I say, it's general advice people can give you, but to me, that's not right. So the grifting situation, I feel like is definitely where it comes from. But another thing, though, just to be devil's advocate, I don't think he's wrong for having that expectation. There's a lot of men out here. There's a lot of the Chris Brown the Michael B. Jordan They probably have these same standards because they worked hard for them to get those standards. Like they worked hard to become the 1%, 10%, 15%, 20% of men so they can have that standard. So I don't think that's a negative thing initially. It's just that when you don't have that, you're not that 15 or that top percentage of men and you have that expectation, that's where it becomes delusional. You know what I mean?
Stop
That's
hating
where it's
on the
like,
light
okay, now
skinned
you
brother.
becoming come on
A
now.
lot of us are
Keon, you honestly,
confused.
Hi, Sister
Keon, you
Light. How
honestly
long you
believe
been
that,
back
brother?
there?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You're
But
muted.
how is that standard conducive to anything positive? Like just because you have
Exactly.
just because you that quote unquote 1%, like it's like, bro, as a human, like you really devaluing that person, bro. Like to
Yeah,
to to know that that's really
Ngolo though,
exploitive, bro.
that's subjective though. Honestly,
No,
like
but
your positivity is probably being inner and moral and things like that. Their positivity is getting some cheeks. That's just reality, bro. Like I'm just
but
living
it,
off
But
it
the
reality.
I agree with Keon, but
how is that
majority of the people who
conducive
think
though?
like him are part of that small percentage, like you said. They're part of that small percentage. So majority of people don't think like that, especially men, because they don't have access to women like a Michael
Like
B.
that,
Jordan or all
exactly,
these other men. So
exactly.
women throw themselves at them so that they can have those requirements, but most men cannot have. In reality, cannot have those requirements.
That's
But
where
how is
sisters like Light
what
Brown
benefit
come
does
into
One
that
play,
mic.
though.
give?
One
Like
mic.
Brown will tell me, Wall Street, go sit your butt down. Like that's where having the right women around you comes into play as well.
Okay,
I
thank
agree.
you. What were you saying, Ngolo? And then we're gonna bring in our
To me, I don't
sisters.
understand. Like, I don't understand the benefit of having that standard. If you quote unquote could do it, like what do you just actualize in power? Like, what
Yes,
benefit do you have? And that's in my opinion, that's the problem, bro. There's something within somebody like that. To me, that's borderline psychotic behavior. That's
It
like some
is.
humiliation
it
ritual type
is.
stuff, bro.
I
It is.
agree. It is.
I
It
agree
I
is.
with
mean,
you
yeah.
110%, brother.
Yeah, but
That's
Like
if you
weird,
have it,
bro.
to me, I feel
no
like I feel like this is kind of a broke conversation. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but being morally correct about women or just generally, especially like Seven Asar said, there's women that throws themselves at you. Are you telling me, Angola, if you was in the position of Chris Brown and Michael B. Jordan, where women just throw themselves at you, that you'll have the same position where it's just like, I'm
Bro,
not gonna deal with all this.
females, bro. It's regular. That's what me personally, bro. That stuff don't move me. I'm not with all that frivolous. Like me personally, bro. It's about community with me, bro. I'm not built off the mundane, all of the regular goofy stuff, the transactional stuff, bro. If it's not about building family and community, it's pointless, bro. We grown ass men. We don't have time to be doing like
But that
people.
thought
Do we
process
understand the condition we in right now, bro? The
that thought
condition our
process
community.
is not part of the dominant thought process though. Most young men don't think like that, Angola. You're a
That's what
part
I'm
of a
saying.
rare breed. You're part of a
But
small
that's the
percentage.
problem, though. That's what I'm saying. It needs to be the standard.
But I
The only
think
way we
he's
can
trying to.
change
I
that
think
is by families, by mothers and fathers teaching that to the kids. You can't do it now. Social media is beating you at that.
Okay,
I
let me
think
bring the
I
sister in
think the
real
most
quick.
I think the biggest part of all of that brothers should look at is this: by you putting yourself out there like that, beyond it affecting possibly your health, first and foremost, your health, your life.
Yeah. Let me bring Sister Light in. Thank you, Brother Law. That's true. Your health, but that you should prioritize that. So, Light Brown, hi. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, hello everyone.
We're reviewing the video we did that night. It was great. Unfortunately, it was taken down, but we got it back up. Sa.neter brought it
There's an
back
echo,
up.
Queen.
Yeah.
I have an echo.
Yeah, let me mute out and let you just weigh in because we're at the end. Brody said he'll be in 20 minutes, but I don't know if we're going to be able to wait that long. What do you think about the conversation that you've been listening to? Like, I'm going to mute out.
I'm just getting on. I was listening for a few minutes. Some of the brothers, they have their own point. Like, we as a people, men and women, we have to learn to respect each other. We have to learn how to pull these children together because, to be honest, it's not about us anymore. Like, so now it's about the next generation, and they're being taught by people who I believe most of their friends are profiles on Facebook. I don't think they have friends in real life. We come from the generation where we had to go outside. We had to meet people outside. We couldn't just go on a phone or a computer and meet people from all over the world. And I think these kids, they lack the social, just the being social. They lack that.
Thank you
And I
so
think
much, Sister Light.
That's a
We
valid
have
point.
Apostle joining. Apostle, did you want to weigh in about you were listening to the conversation?
No, I'm just joining in and just want to continue to listen while y'all chat.
Okay, well, we were discussing a lot. I think this has been a great conversation. The brother that we were talking about, well, he said he'll be in here in about 20 minutes. That was about 5 minutes ago. Let me play a little bit more of the conversation we had with Brody. I'm talking about Brody Light Brown. Sister Light was there on the original conversation. Yes, a whole mess. So let me play the rest of that.
Lord.
Let me get that back. Oh, I think yeah. He was on one, so I think I took where's the video? Where's the video? Oh, it's down. Oh well, because I think we're running over time. Sa.neter's going to be bringing Tahuti and Jabari in, so we got to do this another time. But I really appreciate it. I wish you would have been here earlier, Sister Light, because I was we were talking about no. Well, real quick, no means no. What if a situation, in a relationship, a woman is like, I really don't want to right now. You think if a man keeps at it and finally convinces her that that's a violation, or is that just how relationships should go?
Well, my stance is there's a sultry no and there's a stern no. So if you get a stern no, whether you're in a relationship or not, I believe that you should back off.
Well said.
I believe a man should back off and a woman should back off as well.
Thank you. Wow. What about you? Thank you, Sister Light. What about you, Apostle?
Yeah, I think the last time we had this conversation, I kind of told you about an event when I was like 16 years old, 17 years old.
That was in the 70s, right?
Yeah, that well,
shoot the 40s.
yeah, it was in the early 70s.
Right.
So
A lot has changed since then.
yeah. She was 18. I think I was 16 or 17. And
Okay.
we had been
All right.
dating about 3 weeks. And we was down in the basement and I was pressing. She was saying no. But she just we kept on kissing and kissing and everything. And it wasn't long before the no became yes.
and
You know that's illegal today, right? It can get you in trouble.
yeah.
We're talking to
Well,
the younger men and women about it. But
yeah. Like if it was a thing, like she said no, and then she didn't kiss me back and didn't continue to. Yeah, it was just like no. If it's no, then let it be no. But she was enjoying herself, and I was enjoying myself. I'm not sure if I would do the same thing today. I don't have to worry about that. I'm a married man, and even if my wife says no, I gotta respect that. But she really doesn't. In the marriage, she doesn't have the right to say no. But
I want you to say
personally, I
that
would.
again. Whoever we have some
What?
we have some
What?
feedback. So
She
whoever has
doesn't have the
Apostle,
right to
you
what?
wildin',
well, I
Apostle.
need to hear him. You need to hear him. So and then I'll get to you, Asar. Can you repeat that? Your mic is kind of low. I'm gonna just mute
Yeah,
everybody after
let me
this.
put my mic. I wasn't talking
Go
into my
ahead.
mic.
So you said in the
Okay.
marriage, and then I'm gonna let Asar respond.
In the marriage, a wife does not have the right to use her body in manipulating her husband. You know these things where women play games. In the Hebrew paradigm, her body belongs to me. So,
I don't know about that, Apostle.
personally, I said, if my wife said no, personally, I would respect that. But under God's law, I don't have to. I wouldn't be wrong to it would be wrong for her to hold back her body from me,
Right. Thank you,
according to the
Apostle.
scriptures.
And
That's
that's
what I'm
according to
saying.
the scriptures, right?
Right. But
Yeah.
personally, I would not. I think because my wife and the relationship we have, I'm not sure if I would pursue it in that manner. But I would have the right to in marriage.
Right.
Would have a right to, because she's not allowed to withhold her body from me.
And he's following the scriptures, as you heard. So
Right.
thank you, Apostle. I want to let Asar 7 respond, and then Keon, you can come in, and then brother-in-law close out, and then I'm going to shut it down if nobody has anything else to say. Go ahead, Asar 7.
I want to say, Elder Apostle, that I appreciate that you don't adhere to that law and you respect your wife enough not to adhere to that law. But that's one of the issues that I always have with with that religion and that book, because it allows men to treat women as property and to create some type of ownership mentality when she has full control and autonomy of her body. There's no book, no law, no scripture that should govern it. She herself should only govern her body. And if you want to be entrapped into a culture, religion, or ideology that allows you to and say that she can't do this or can't do that, then I am one of the soldiers that's going to be fighting against that ideology with you every step of the way. Because I have a daughter, I have a mother, I have a grandmother, I have an aunt, and I have all my sisters that I love on this panel and on the planet. So I would always protect that. And that's one of the reasons why I always fight against this ideology. And I'll let my brother Keon
Respect that.
come right after.
Respectfully,
And
let
then we
me.
can go back to you, Apostle, after Keon speaks.
Okay.
I know you want to respond to that. Thank you, Elder. Go ahead, Keon.
Yeah. Apostle, love to you, brother. But man, I wouldn't advertise the Bible in that sort of in that way. Like I get it. I do understand where you're coming from, because he's not wrong. Apostle is technically not wrong. In the Old Testament, there's definitely a lot of implications that women is subjected to the men. So you can't deny that. If you can read, that's in there. So I can't deny that. But at the end of the day, I feel like when we get to the New Testament and when we get to Christ and when we get to Paul and when we get to the new teachings, it's up for interpretation. Technically, in Timothy, I think Paul technically says that the women should learn in silence. But again, that those are things that can be interpreted in many different ways, honestly. So I think that's kind of a wrong way to put it, but it is what it is.
Thank you.
Let me respond first to
Go
Assad.
ahead, and then we'll go to Brother Law.
Not so long ago, I'm pretty sure DC still has the law. A wife cannot accuse her husband of rape. A wife does not have legal standing to bring a charge of rape against her husband. That I know for a fact. Now, unless they changed the law within the last 2 or 3 years, that's law in the District of Columbia and probably Maryland too. I'm not sure about Virginia. Virginia is a commonwealth, so I'm not sure about that. But DC and Maryland, I'm positive. Christ in the New Testament, a woman does not have the right to file for divorce. Only a man can file for divorce. And as long as the man is still alive, that woman nor that man can remarry. Until the man is dead, then she is free from the separation. But if they are separated, they are still bound together. If they are divorced, they are still bound together. Read the scripture.
Thank you.
Only a man can file for divorce.
Mm-hmm. True, in the scriptures.
In the scriptures.
Brother Law,
That's the whole word, and that's what you are.
Thank you. I wanted to get with. Thank you, Apostle Saquon. I want to ask Brother Law, what is your take on the elder coming using the Bible to discuss women's sexual rights and basically in marriage? Is there something similar? What about the Quran? Does the Quran say that your wife can't refuse you?
What I was going to say, Nepal, is this.
Mm-hmm.
In regards for law, an apostle stated something in regards for in DC, the law is the law. Whether you be Hebrew Israelite, Christian, Muslim, if a woman tell you no, no is no.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. We're not basing on Sharia law in Islamic countries,
right,
or in Israel. We're not doing none of that. If a woman tell you no, take the no, walk.
And I think Apostle did. Thank you. That's right. And Apostle, thank you, Brother Law. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. And Apostle did say, even though it's in the book, he doesn't. He does follow his wife's no, right, Apostle? So I just want to close out after this. Did you say that?
Yeah.
You're muted though. Oh, he's on the phone. He did.
Yeah, what he was saying, and that's why I actually went back and asked the Wiz. I'm like, did you just hear what Apostle said in stating the law in DC?
Is that true?
Like, that's not true. No, that's not true. That's not true at all.
I'm seeing in the chat they saying it's not true.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but let's not base like there's a one drop rule in Louisiana, right? That doesn't mean it's a just law. I mean that's trying to compare to, if it's true, a DC law that might have been on the books 200 years ago. Nobody's following that. It's like, are we stoning people too? I mean, that's just kind of like a weak argument. And it really sounds a lot like men wrote the Bible. It's just gonna put that out there.
You think
men did write the Bible? That's a fact.
You think a lot of parts of the Bible? Yeah, I'm not going to say all, but definitely those parts about grab her if you like her and take her home. And But let's not go down that rabbit hole. I want to say thank you to everybody who's joined. I haven't seen Brody. I don't think he's coming in, but I will bring him back. I'm hoping that everyone who's here comes in and talks to him because he is on a mission. You can see him in these Facebook streets promoting his movement. He calls it a movement. It's called the Sassy. I think he says Negro Light. You know better than me. What is it, Light?
The Sassy Nigga Apocalypse.
Thank you. The Sassy. Tell it. Light has seen it more than me. Sister Light, just give them some background on what this movement is.
Nepal, I'm confused at this point because I don't feel like a man should be sassy in any kind of way. Like, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to men being sassy. And then, he says things like, lick my boochie cat and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I think he's halfway in the door and halfway out.
No, psych, man.
No,
No, psych.
on that note, pause. Anybody want to say anything before I close down?
All I gotta say, bro, is anybody that's espousing that type of stuff needs to be excommunicated, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
It sounds like he's just reaching for likes, subscriptions, and shares, and it's all cap. Sounds like it's all cap.
It's goofy, bro.
I would say it was cap if his behavior didn't exhibit.
Yeah, he really.
There's a lot of people that fake. There's a lot of people that fake online to get likes, shares, and subscriptions, but are totally different in their real lives. So I've seen it.
Really living the life.
I agree with that, but yeah, I've been around him for some years now.
Yeah, I mean,
it only gets worse.
At the end of the day, y'all chump behavior.
Right.
There it is. There we got Suntan, Elder Suntan coming in. Last but not least, what would you like to say? And I'll let you close it down, and then I'll just throw the song up, and then we're gonna get the next show coming up. Y'all get ready. Jabari and Tahuti are sitting down. They're gonna actually get their official debate done. What would you like to say, Suntan?
Just peace to the panel, peace to everybody, and like I said, it's to force yourself on a woman is just to belittle your manhood. That's all I need to say. There's so many idiots sitting in jail right now couldn't sustain themselves from sex, and that I think that's really, it's just really stupid. I ain't even got to use no big words, man. If she say no, get going about your business, man. I mean, it's just really, a bad thing if a man can't compose himself from sex. That's a weak person, and they got a place for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got to say on it.
Thank you.
They say he from up there where y'all at. They say he from New York. Well, upstate.
Upstate New York? Nah, we don't claim that.
Screaming at the top of your lungs don't make you that guy. Try to watch my style and replay it, don't make you fly. Don't take a break, cause the fake like the snake. When the big dog away, all they do is clout chase. When I enter the room, all they do is bout face. Put them lions on my back, then ball with the minister. Side put me on there, everybody wanna mimic you. Yeah, I thought I told you we the toughest here. We be on the scene, niggas screen our shit. We the toughest you done seen, we the big boy clique. If he really want smoke, I pull up with him. Toughest environment, smoke city. I can tell by your energy, you ain't really woke. He showed up to debate, but he choked. No money in his pocket, boy broke. Shit, the only thing he can teach is hope. Kill a spider, drown a fish, stomp a rose, do something. But don't come on sa.neter with the stunt. Everybody over here getting money. Touche hit me up, told me go and run it. Guess I'm Carl Lewis. You looking dumb foolish. Nigga way upstate making soft music. Boy, this the toughest environment, show you how to do it. Mr. Toughest environment, show you how to do it. We be on the scene, niggas screen our shit. We the toughest you done seen, we the big boy clique. If he really want smoke, I pull up with him. Toughest environment, smoke city. I can tell by your energy, you ain't really woke. He showed up to debate, but he choked. No money in his pocket, boy broke. Shit, the only thing he can teach is hope. We be on the scene, niggas screen our shit. We the toughest you done seen, we the big boy clique. If he really want smoke, I pull up with him. Toughest environment, smoke city. I can tell by your energy, you ain't really woke. He showed up to debate, but he choked. No money in his pocket, boy broke. Shit, the only thing he can teach is hope.